Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another edition of Darts Night on Twitch, here presented by the FODL, the first online dart league, the FODL. I'm your man Rob, aka Radar, hanging out with you in the booth this evening. We've got a good one for you, as always. Only 10 viewers out there so far, at least that's what I'm showing, including Big G, Gamer1, DJ Mike Hughes, The Fireman, and Yota JMU. DJ Mike Hughes throwing out some trivia questions in the chat. We were discussing some trivia earlier this afternoon, so it looks like he's going to keep that up for some sideshow entertainment. But we got some main event triple header action here with some FODL A matches, a FODL B match to cap off the night. But let's get it started with our first match, what we got going on. It's going to be the Jig throwing out of Richmond, Virginia. Last season, he finished third place in the FODL B division, throwing with those 23-gram Harrows Dave Chisnell darts. Hashtag getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. Every time. I'm going to do it every time that I cast the Jig, because how can you not? How can you not with that hashtag? He's going up against the Surgeon, throwing out of Spring City, Pennsylvania. Last season, he finished third place in the FODL A division, was runner-up in the championship to King Raj, so was not able to add his 6th star to his flight. He's throwing with 23-gram Win Mao Mark Webster darts. Hashtag got it. Kicking over to the standings is what we're looking at right now. Surgeon currently in 6th place. He's 1 point behind Dilly Dilly and 9 points behind the Nooch. So the top of the division starting to separate a little bit, and Surgeon oddly finding himself kind of in the middle. The Jig currently sitting in 10th place. He is 3 points behind Red Rascal. However, Red Rascal has played 6 matches. The Jig has only played 5. He's 7 behind DeGrubs, but DeGrubs actually only played 4 matches, so DeGrubs has a couple matches in hand. But Jig looking to make up some ground. Been playing well, trying to make a playoff push and get some leg victories under his belt. In the schedule here for Game Week 5, we've got a couple matches played here in the FODL A division. This will be the 3rd out of 6 matches to be played. Nobody set the mark for a high cricket throw, the minimum in FODL A being a 7 mark. The best MPR leg goes to King Raj with a 3.0 even. King Raj also has an 18 darter to set the pace there. Nobody with a high 501 throw, so the minimum for that will be a 141. And the highest 501 checkout with a minimum of 70. Looking at the statistics, Surgeon, number 4 in the league in cricket MPR, 2.76. Jig is 22nd with a 2.09. You see the miss percentages, big part of it. The Surgeon just missing 1/3 of his darts at 34%. The Jig, 46%. The treble and bulls in favor of the Surgeon, 20% to 11. And Surgeon making good use of it when he finds those trebles, 14% 5 mark percentage. So Surgeon has been racking up some big scores, and that has led to him winning 70% of his cricket legs. The Jig is winning just 30. In 501, similar story. Surgeon is 5th best in the league at 58.24. The Jig is 17th at 50.88. The first 9, the Surgeon getting out to about 10-point better start, 65.4, 55.9. The average finishing you see there. Ton plus percentage, though, is exactly even, 12% each. Surgeon leading in 140 plus percentage at 3.1 to the Jig's 1. But the Jig's got a 180. Surgeon does not. Surgeon's got 57% of his legs 1, and the Jig as 37%. Going over to the split view, there we have it. Jig is the home player, so he'll be on the left. It will be the Surgeon on the right. And in FODL A, they cork for the throw, which the Jig has won in the interim. It's an A division match in the upper right-hand corner. 9 total legs, 2 of cricket, 7 of 501. If our players are ready, we know the viewers are ready. We'll get it underway. Surgeon, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Jig, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Both of our players are ready, which means it's time to get Darts Night on Twitch, Tuesday edition, underway. Jig with darts in hand. Game on!
You well, Surgeon.
Hey, man. Let's do it.
Up to 15 viewers in there now. The train FODL coming in there. And he got the the trivia question correct that DJ Mike Hughes had posed. Cali Kid 07 watching from vacation. So, hey there, Cali Kid. Thanks for tuning in. Your wife is very patient to let you tune in on a vacation like that. DeGrubs 86 in there as well. Jig off to a good start here. Looks like he's going to get 319, so he's got the 20s and 19s closed. Surgeon, his first effort was only a single 19, but he's into that treble bet of the 18s.
7 18.
And there is 7 18s for the Surgeon. So again, we talked about it in that open. When he finds a treble, he is making great use of it. 7 18s for 72 points on the board. Jig going back to the 20s. He'll manage a couple, but he's trailing by 32 now. Jig has the benefit of having a pair of wedges. Ooh, Surgeon had the third dart in hand to get the 20s closed, but he missed right into the 1. So Jig's still going to have the 20s on which to score.
3.
He'll pound in 3, all of them nicely grouped just on top of that treble bed. So Jig has been very consistent so far. He's only missed 1 dart, but it's been the Surgeon with that 2 treble visit. It's really put him back into this one. The Jig yet to hit a treble. 2 18s will get the Surgeon back on top by 8 points. Man, that's another close dart. Jig is right all over it, but he's just not getting rewarded right now. 2 more 20s and a single 18. 3 more steady marks for the Jig. Back to the Surgeon looking to fend him off on 18s, keep himself alive here.
4 18s.
And that third dart's going to sneak into the corner of that treble bed for 4 18s for the Surgeon. Once again, finding another treble. Jig staying steady. A lot of singles for him, keeping that MPR up. 3 steady singles for 60 more points. The point battle rages on here. Surgeon, there's another 5 mark for him. 4 18s, and he jumps over to the 20s, gets it closed with his final dart. The Jig going to have to drop to the bottom half of the board now, score on 19s. And again, look how close that dart is to the treble. It is kissing the wire, but it is just 2 19s. Just going to put the door open for the Surgeon to get it closed. And he's going to need all 3 darts to do it, but he does do it effectively, getting that third dart into the single for 2 19s. And now the Jig, as well as he's throwing on the move, trailing 3 more steady 17s, gets the wedge closed. Still looking for his first treble of the match. Surgeon has found 3 of them, which has given him the lead in that 3.3 MPR. This time he is going to take a page out of the Jig's strategy books. 3 steady 17s. And there's the treble for the Jig. Necessary 5 16s to get it started on 16. He gets back out into the point lead. Tight race here. And Surgeon's going to answer back with another 5 mark, finding the treble with his third. Jig won't go away. 3 steady 16s. Very competitive. Great leg going on for both these players right now. Surgeon moving over to 16s, and he'll pound in 3 singles. Get another wedge closed. He'll force Jig over to 15s, but he'll get it going immediately. Jig's starting to find a couple trebles. Oh, that's a next door treble into the 2. 4 15s was nearly a 7 mark of his own. He inches closer, but the Surgeon first dart into the treble 15. Going right after the bull, missing outside with both attempts, but he does get the 15s closed straight away. Jig now working on the bull. And there's 2 bulls to start for the Jig. So he continues to keep pressure on the Surgeon, but the Surgeon's been able to rise to the challenge. He's going to need a bullseye to finish it.
Got it.
And he's going to get the bullseye to finish it with the third dart. Game shot and the leg going to the Surgeon as he somehow slips that third dart between the first and second. bullying flights out of the way on the way to the bullseye, and the surgeon takes the first leg with a 3.3. Surgeon, with a break of throw, has the darts in hand for this second leg. Game on! Three 20s to start it off for the surgeon, continuing his hot throwing.
1-9.
Just a single 19 from the jig. Maybe staggering a bit after that great finish from the surgeon. Speaking of great finishes, surgeon into that treble 19 is a 5 mark for him. 3 19s, 2 18s. Surgeon not messing around with points unless he has to. The jig going after the 17s.
3.
There's 3 of them. Again, another dart right outside that treble. Cali Kid saying, boop. Dr. G Cox 1908 joined the chat. Thank you for joining. Lucier RC joining as well. Everybody loved that first leg between both players. A great opening leg for Surge. Says,
5.
Cali Kid. There's 5 17s, though, for the jig. As he'll force the surgeon to finally go back and get some points here. Got a couple wedges on which he can do it. And a salvaging third dart with the treble 23rd after missing left and right.
Oh.
The jig going after the 20s. He's going to find a salvaging treble 20 as well, staying there for all 3 and getting the trebles, getting the close with his final dart. So Surgeon going to have to go to the 19s now. Still has it open. He gets 2 of them and gets the point lead. Well done there by the jig to get the big scoring wedge closed. Obviously 19s is still bigger than the 17s, but at least a little bit more manageable. Every time he's able to get one closed will be beneficial. That was like the most Booger McFarland thing to say. Every time that you can get a wedge closed, it helps you towards winning a leg. Jeez, terrible commentary.
That's 2.
There's 2 17s for the jig. He gets back out in front. Hey, and if you have the most points when the leg's over, that means you won. So, as we continue with Booger McFarlandisms. Back to you in the booth there. I'll go ahead and take a sip of my wine.
2 nights.
And forget that ESPN ever put Booger McFarland on Monday Night Football. It was so bad.
Great.
So the jig managing 1 good deflection, 1 bad deflection. That good deflection into that treble 17, though, which was certainly helpful as it was the only dart he was able to keep within that wedge. Surgeon's going to get 2 19s, and he'll get the 18s closed now, so he'll keep the 2 wedge advantage. But jig is trailing by just a single mark as far as the points goes. 2 more 17s dumped in by the jig, so continues to go back and forth. That looks like a big dart from the surgeon with the first into the treble 19, moving over to the 17s. Had a dart to close it, but missed. It's just the 4 mark for the surgeon. 17s still available to the jig.
Come on. 1.
It's not able to take advantage of the opportunity posed to him. Jig only getting a single, trailing in points. The surgeon's going to go after the close. He'll get it with the second dart. Move over to the 16s, but miss. So just the single 17 this time for the surgeon. Jig looking for a start on the 16s like he had last time with the 5 mark. He's not going to get it. It's going to be a miss entirely for the jig, low and high. Surgeon looking to keep the pedal down.
2 6.
I think it's 2 16s for the surgeon, so doesn't get it closed. But he's knocking on the door. The jig moving over to 15s, though. The first dart's in the treble. And it's 5 15s coming in for the jig. Getting back into this. It's running out of scoring wedges and opportunities. But the 5 mark at least is going to put the bug in the surgeon's mind. But it's going to be right out of his mind as he finds, once again, the treble 19 first dart. A 5 mark round for the surgeon as he gets 2 15s to go along with that treble 19. Jig gonna desperately need a treble with that last, and he can't quite fit it in there. It stays out. 2 singles, 30 points, not enough to take the point lead back. There's the close of 15s for the Surgeon, going over to 16s, and he'll get it closed with his final dart. A 2-mark round for the Surgeon, but he's got everything but the bull. Jig getting off to another good start in the center. First starts at bullseye. Couldn't follow it with either of the second or third, though. But once again, a 2-mark visit for the Jig in the middle. Last time Surgeon was able to do it on his first visit with 3. Can he find the bull with the last? He cannot find the bullseye with the last dart. This time, a single bull for the Surgeon, getting the green bit. The Jig back into the bullseye. That looks like 3 bulls for the Jig. And a stray 19, so an excellent turn there from the Jig. As he gets back out on top of points, he's able to score on the bull. We're 25 apiece and got a stray 19 to work towards closing off the wedge. Surgeon now maybe debating what he wants to do, and every time he's taken that pause to think about it, he has pegged a treble 19 with his first dart, and that trend continues. Treble 19 and a stray 16 when he went after the bull there, so 4 marks for the Surgeon to get it back on top of the Jig. Again, back into the bull. This time only managing the single. The first dart kind of blocking it off for him. Couldn't filter around that first. Trailing by 9, Surgeon looking for the finish. Like the first one's in.
Ooh, 1 ball.
It's just 1 bull for the Surgeon. That third dart very narrowly missing into the 11. But the Jig's going to get a hat trick for 3 more and put on 75 points to get him back out in front. He's up by 66. And again, the Surgeon with the pause and the treble 19.
Oh, 4 19s.
Oh, he just misses the bull. 4 19s, but the Jig has been putting pressure on here with the bullseyes. There's another bullseye for the Jig. And another. It's a 5-bull round for the Jig as he gets 2 bullseyes and a single massive point scoring going on the left side in the center. Will not go away. The Surgeon now has to find a bunch of darts in the 19s. He's going to get 119, and he will close the bull. So no more points can be scored for the Jig. The Jig now going to be faced with the pressure of closing off every wedge remaining. There's the close of 19s at the minimum. And there's a single 18. You'd think that the Jig going to have to find a treble somewhere. The Surgeon has the 18s and 16s just looking to chase points here. Trailing by 96. He's got the 18s and 16s. That's where he can go. There's the first and the 18. Oh, and a huge treble.
5 18.
5 18s for the Surgeon, and he is 1 mark away. Huge visit there. Can the Jig dig deep and find something here? He's going to have a shot for the treble 16. Oh, he goes next door into the treble 7. He had the 2 18s but couldn't find the treble 16. Surgeon needs a single mark. First starts low. And he's going to do it with a double 16. Game shot. And the leg going to the Surgeon, finding a double 16. Only needed 1, but what a battle back by the Jig in the center. 14 bulls for him to keep the Surgeon on his toes and make him earn it. Jig has darts in hand as we move towards 501. Game on! There is 45 scored for the Jig. Fireman saying, holy hell, Yo-Yo Dad, Jesus locked in on the bull. Train FODL, are you effing high? Nice bull shooting. Everybody appreciating the great finish there from both players. 61 scored from the Jig, utilizing the double ring, similar to the Surgeon there in cricket. Surgeon's going to answer back with 85. Take a sip again from the wine. Looks like a roadhouse, a little double deuce action from the jig. So some crazy, crazy cricket legs to start this thing off. I feel like if HX Duck was there to watch cricket legs like that, he might actually like cricket. Who knows? He's not here. He or she is not here. I'm sorry, HX Duck. I don't want to assume your gender. The jig's going to find a treble here as he'll register an 85. And down the board we matriculate. Surgeon against the darts here, but out in front thanks to some good shooting and some good trebles for him. That looks like just a 40, though. Had a couple of awkward deflections in there. So the jig right back in this one.
60.
Solid 60. Again, similar to cricket. Jig pouring in a bunch of singles into that 20. If he's able to do that consistently, 60 average, usually pretty good. Surgeon's going to drop in a 58, switching over for the cover 19s for his first dart, lying on top of that treble 20. And just 41 scored another dart. You hear it clipping the wire as it goes by just below that treble 20 bed. Surgeon starts to lay a little bit flatter, so maybe the dart would rather stack as opposed to try to fit underneath. There's a ton 40 for the Surgeon, getting under 100. Down to 77. The jig now going to need to put some pressure on him. 47 scored, be down to 140, so he is on a finish, but the Surgeon requires 77. Surgeon will have one for tops.
Got it.
And he'll find the 77 finish. Game shot and the leg going to the Surgeon as he is 3 on the bounce, on the skip, on the trot, on the go, on the run to start things off with 2 breaks of throw. And he's going to have darts in hand coming back to the board. Game on! Yo-Yo Dad asking if there are any other matches going on. Not in the early slate. We'll have a couple extra, I believe, in the 9 o'clock slate. But this is the only match we got running here for the 8 o'clock. Then we'll only have, similar to this, I believe it's only 1 for the 10 p.m. slot as well. 54 to start things off for the Surgeon. And Jig's going to answer back with 41. Conrad Darts joining the chat. What's up, Phil? Saying F Hull Internet. Hull being the place. There's 28 for the Surgeon. Narrowly avoiding the breakfast. 45 scored from the jig. So not the best start for either player. There's solid 60 dropped in on the right side of the board. Very festive on the right side with the garland around the board. I'm sure if the author was in the chat, he would approve. There's a nice ton, though, from the jig. You see, it leaps out to a little bit of lead here now.
60.
And Surgeon going to stay steady with 60.
85.
Jig, however, not going to let him breathe. Another treble for 85 down to 230. Surgeon just under 300 at 299. Cali Kid, thanks for joining while you could. Understand why you got to go.
40.
Enjoy the vacay. And just 40 for the Surgeon. I don't know what happened to the third dart. It must have been a bounce out, I guess, but I never even saw it enter the frame. And another 85 for the jig, so he is down on a finish at 145 after 15. Surgeon going to need some help to get there at this point. Back at 259, minimum of 1 treble. And he won't be able to get there. The second dart drifting into the 5, but did some good math to start off on the 19s there from 259. Now debating his final dart. And he finds the bull. So it's going to be a 49 scored for the Surgeon. The jig requires 145. It is off. Still just working towards a good setup. 45 scored, leaves an even 100. He'll come back to the board with it. Surgeon back at 210. Now he's looking to get to an out. And I think that's just a yo 11, which will not get him to a finish. Jig requires 100. And it's off. Hard to say that on 100, but it is in fact off. But he does salvage with that third dart into the treble, so he'll leave 36 coming back to the board. Surgeon looking for a big score as the jig sitting on a single dart finish at this point. Surgeon languishing well back.
Holy shit. Cool.
And it's just going to be 9. So the Surgeon has failed to reach checkout range once again, as he's still at 190. Jig requires 36.
Yeah.
Very safe darts from the jig, but not bad there, as he's definitely coming back to the board. Surgeon back at 190. Whoa, bounce out. See ya into the living room. Watch your feet there, Surge. That one's coming back with a vengeance. I saw that bounce out at least. That was aggressive. What did you do to that dart? That might be 8. It might be 8. Oh, it's a 22. It's still not an out. Jig, 6 darts, 36 still. Inside now to double 9. He'll go outside on the double 9. He's not able to close it up yet, but he will be coming back to the board with 18. Surgeon requires 168, which is not a finish. It's a bogey. Bogey. Surgeon. Rough go of it here down the stretch. Another 11, it looks like. So he's gone 11, 9, 22, 11. Who let his wife start throwing?
Second.
And the jig will find the double 9 with the second dart. Game shot and the leg going to the jig as he gets on the board with a break of throw, in fact. And he'll have darts coming back, looking to make it 3-2. Game on. Oh, and there's a fallout of the board. See ya from the jig. Just 40 scored. 8-and Mojica throwing in 200 biddies. Thank you very much, 8-and Mojica. Kilf saying odds of Surgeon landing on a bogey. Well, there you have it. He did it. So I don't know what the odds were, but it happened. There's Kitty. I hear it. There's 45 coming in from the jig. Fun fact, the jig's cat likes to sit underneath the board and stare up at it. So bounce outs and fallouts like the one that he had in the previous turn are potentially cat wounding missiles.
Every bounce out is just like sticking my hand into like a pit of thorns, I swear. She loves them. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
62 scored as we get commentary from the cat trying to take my job, and frankly, she's better at it than me, so. That might be 36 from the Surgeon. Finding a 19 and a 16. Surgeon getting a little loose on the right side. Not typical for him at all. And Jig is going to start centering in on that treble bed yet again. 85 treble in back-to-back visits. Surgeon done messing around here, though, as he finds a treble 20 this time for an 81. Just 41 scored from the jig from 269. In the chat, people loving the kitten. Kilf saying kitten in all caps. Yota JMU saying meow. There's a nice 98 from the Surgeon as he leapfrogs the jig. But neither on a checkout. Jig with big trouble can get there still. Just below speed limit 55 for the jig. Just on the outskirts of checkout position at 173. Surgeon at 204. He's trying to get there first. And he's going to sneak that dart into the treble for a 100. Scored down to 104. So now it's the jig's turn to be trailing and try to put pressure on the Surgeon. 59 scored for the jig. He'll get down to 114. The Surgeon requires 104. Surgeon was debating his route, but he finds the treble 18 with his last dart nicely to leave 16, scoring 88. Jig requires 114.
Oh, God.
And 44 scored from the jig there. That might garner some eye rolls. Surgeon requires 16.
Miss.
And he goes just outside with that last. From the angle, it was tough to tell. Jig requires 70. He'll have one for tops.
Oh, what are you
Whoa!
doing?
And that dart pulled well low inside the treble ring and left into the 535 remains for the jig. Surgeon requires 16. Inside now to double 4. That's outside. And the Surgeon not super tiny on the doubles here. Going to give the jig another chance to clean up 35.
Oh.
He's going to find the treble 3. Now looking at 26, wants that double 13.
Third dart.
And he will find it with the third. Wasn't sure if that marker was close enough. I heard it bang off, but it got in there. You see it right there. The jig using a marker to perfection to take another leg. Game shot and the leg going to the jig to make it 3-2. Surgeon now with darts in hand. Game on. Congra saying some very not nice things about me, but I'll allow it. It's also a fair comment. Both players opening up this leg with a 60. Yota Jamie saying great guide in there after the jig was able to use that marker.
40.
Yo-Yo Dad saying nice jiggy. Another 40. Surgeon had yet another bounce out. Have a go of it with some bounce outs today is the Surge. And the jig's cat loving the bounce outs on the Surgeon side. 80 scored for the jig.
40.
Back-to-back 40s for the Surgeon. As the jig trying to go 3 on the trot.
Oh.
58 scored there from the jig. Third dart, a little bit of a shank, but it was good enough to stay into the 18 and score a decent number for points. And there's a nice tidy 60 from the Surgeon there. Coming back, trying to get a reset. And the jig is going to get 45, so he's under 200 or under 300 rather. Surgeon's still at 301. The jig against the darts, so leading the way here. Surgeon managing just 41 himself down to 260. Jig finding tops again here in the scoring portion. Still works. So another 80 for the jig, similar to round 2. So he finds himself up by 82. Surgeon looking to change that here though. First dart into that treble 20.
60.
But he's not able to do a whole lot with it. Just the 66 there. And jig back into tops.
80.
Another 80 for the jig. So he's under 100 with a 2-dart combination finish potentially at 98. Surgeon, last time when he was in the 190s, struggled to get to a finish. Trying to get there this time. 32 scored. Will not do it. Is going to leave the bogey 162. So jig's got 6 darts from 98.
Oh.
Oh no.
That's
Oh
not good.
no. And the jig's going to bust the third dart, finding treble 20, and he had 60 remaining. He's going to have to go back to 98. So Surgeon with a big opportunity to put some pressure on from 162. Get back into this thing. 60 scored, gets down to 102. The jig once again requires 98. This time in the treble first dart. But he misses the double 19 inside. Good recovery with the third, though, to leave 16. 82 scored. The Surgeon requires 102.
Well, 16.
And it looks like the Surgeon is going to get the treble 16 with his last to leave 20. The Jig requires 16. And he's not able to find the double 8. All of the darts missing outside. No score. Surgeon looking for the Rascal. Inside, Rascal saying no, double 5.
Second.
But he will find the double 5 with the second dart. Game shot and the leg going to the Surgeon. Getting back on track, stopping the Jig's short little run there of 2 in a row. The Jig going to have darts in hand coming back to the board. Game on! Nice ton start for the Jig, saying he's going to forego the double 20 and find the treble 20 this time.
More points.
It is more points. That's a fact. That is a factual statement.
55.
And speed limit will drive the speed limit 55 to get it started.
45.
Jig having somebody other than myself talking in his backswing.
It does not help.
Surgeon is going to punish it with a ton scored himself. The first dart in that treble. And kicking down with the second and third.
Mm.
And there's another 80 scored.
Added to the 80.
As Kitty approves. Kitty approves of double 20, apparently. Just 30 scored for the Surgeon, this time drifting right into that treble 1.
Oh. That's not
And Jig trying to play the intimidation game with a surgical 7 against the Surgeon himself. The Surgeon's going to answer with a ton, not appreciating the gamesmanship by the Jig. And it's going to be a ton scored for the Jig in response, but it's going to be some crim eye rolls for sure in that chat. As he leaves the bogey, 169. Could have switched to the 19s to get there. And the Surgeon's going to do it to me. It's a breakfast from the Surgeon. Single 5, single 20, single 1 is a breakfast in darts. And as we do in the FODL, we ask an official breakfast question for the first breakfast of every single match. We'll get to the breakfast question in the next leg, though, as the Jig has gotten into checkout position.
30 scored.
30 scored for the Surgeon. He is going to inch into checkout position at 160. The Jig requires 129, but it's off.
Jesus.
Oh, and it's just going to be a 9 scored for the Jig. He'll leave Shanghai, but his second single-digit score of the leg gives the Surgeon an opportunity for 160. It is off as well.
Oh, 43.
43 scored, down to 117. Jig requires 120.
Oh, come on.
Oh, and this time he'll be scooter darting, not able to find the double 20. As he leaves himself 80, Surgeon requires 117. Certain Jig may have been going for double 20 to try to leave tops, but nonetheless missed on the wrong side to score nothing to leave himself 80. 30 scored for the Surgeon, leaves him 87. Jig requires 80. Ooh, the second dart drifts. Whoa. That third dart goes nowhere. There's 21 if you're legal drinking age. Go ahead and take a drink because it's the legal drinking age here in the United States. And we drink for 21s here in the FODL. Surgeon requires 87. Both players having a bit of a go of it here in the setup game. Surgeon going to leave 48. Jig requires 59. There's 19. He's got 2 for tops. And he will find it with the third dart. Game shot and the leg with commentary from the Peanut Gallery going on consistently, but he makes it 3-4. Surgeon going to have darts in hand. Game on. A lot of kitty emotes flowing in the chat from Yota JMU and Dr. Gcox 1909 saying kitty like. Yota JMU saying the cat wanted it. Conrad Dart saying I never knew cats were so chatty. They sure are. There's another 21. So once again, the Surgeon feeling a little bit boozy. If you're of legal drinking age, enjoying an adult beverage wherever you are, go ahead and take a drink for that 21. I also owe you guys a breakfast question.
Here we go.
And Surgeon's going to back up the 21 with a 180. A big maximum poured in for the Surgeon to get himself right.
Nope, that's
Try to get things back. 60 scored for the jig. A little misclick there, but it is 60 for the jig, so we'll get that fixed coming back to the board. But the Surgeon pounding in the max. So
50.
for this breakfast question, this one's going to go out to Cali Kid, even though he left the chat. If you were on a vacation and you're going to like eat your breakfast on a nice balcony, what's a nice like refreshing breakfast that you would eat in a tropical balcony location? 34 viewers out there, let me know. Tropical balcony breakfast. And Surgeon going to find that trouble bed yet again. 100 scored on a finish after 12, thanks to the maximum. Jig trying to keep pace, but only finding 45. He's back at 300. Surgeon requires 145. And it's off. First started in the 20.
50.
He'll score 59 to leave himself 86. Jig work to do to get to checkout range and put pressure on. Surgeon well out in front at this point. Another 45 for the jig. Surgeon requires 86. Ooh. Missing the 18s low into the 4. That looks like it's in the 8 with the second dart. So just 12 scored through 2. Surgeon trying to debate his final target. He goes after the 14, so it is going to be 26 scored down to 60 for the Surgeon. Went after the 14s with the 74. Found the trouble. He would have left double 16, but he didn't, so he left 60. Jig going to score another 45, 3 in a row, down to 210. Surgeon requires 60. Inside to the Rascal.
50.
And that's inside as well. Rascal saying no once again to the Surgeon for the second time this match. And he'll be left with 10. Jig trying to get it going. He'll score 60, get onto a finish now at 150. But Surgeon requires 10. And he'll get it with the first. Game, shot, and the leg going to the Surgeon, holding his throw there. And he'll secure a match victory with 5 leg wins. However, in the FODL regular season, we play them all. So we got 1 leg to go. The Jig to throw first. Game on! Some bits coming in for the maximum from the Surgeon. Jig starting off with 100. Yota JMU with 10. Dr. Gkix 1908 with 300 and another one, 400. 8IM Mojica with 100 as well. We got some answers to the breakfast question. DeGrubs 86 saying Diet Dew. Yota JMU. Yikes. Dr. Gcax 1908 is going to take you up on that, though. So go on a vacation. Alky Dart says cabin at a lake. He's going to eat a cabin at a lake. Okay. Yo-Yo Dad saying beer with more beer. Seen it happen. Wake up in the morning at 7 a.m. and go to the hot tub, start pounding beers. It's Always a good time. Surgeon bookending that treble 19 on either side. Treble 7, treble 9 for 50 scored total. And Jig back into the 20s with all three of them for 60. Surgeon will match with 60, but it's Jig out in front. Again, every leg win worth 2 points, so important points on the line for the Jig as he's, again, been sitting near the bottom looking to claw his way back up. Potentially get into playoff contention, or at least try to avoid the relegation scenarios since they've not been set yet. 81 scored for the Surgeon. Gets him back into this leg, though.
No.
Oh, and a scooter dart there from the Jig, so it's just going to be 40 scored. Surgeon, 229. He's going to have an opportunity to get to a checkout first. Can't tell about that third dart. It's just high for 44. Surgeon down to 185, so now the Jig trying to be the first to a finish. 60 scored will do it down to 140. Surgeon trying to get a good setup now. At 185, the treble will help. He'll find two trebles. In fact, 140 scored for the Surgeon down to 45. Jig looking for 140 of his own, but needs to do it in a different way. It's off. Oh, and the next dart drifts into the treble one. Just 42 scored. Going to leave 98. Surgeon requires 45. 2 for double 16. He's only going to need one.
Nah, it's double 8.
Wow, that second dart, the angle, I could have sworn it was in, but it's above into the double 8. Excuse me. So 16 left for the Surgeon. The Jig still with life at 98. It's the one now. Trying to get 97. Needed the treble 19. Couldn't get it. 40 scored for the Jig. Gets down to 58. Surgeon requires 16.
That one's in.
Good
Okay.
shot.
Yeah, I was going to wait this time. Game shot and the leg going to the Surgeon. Had already gotten the match victory, but he adds to it, winning this one 6-3, finding double 8 with the first dart. More bits coming in from Thai Curry Pizza on 100. So we'll go to the interview portion of this first match. We got 2 more to go. We'll go over to the Jig first, always with the great shirts. Drinking the Coors Seltzer, so changing up the seltzer brand tonight. What? So, all right, your first question, what do you think of the Coors Seltzer?
Not bad. I've only had the black cherry, but they're pretty decent. I like them.
How do they compare to the other ones you've had?
I think Vizzy are the best that I've had so far. I like Truly, White Claw's fine. They're all pretty much the same, honestly. It depends on what flavor you're talking about.
That's fair. That's fair. From the Coors ones that I've had, I thought the grapefruit had some of the best flavor. But now we'll start talking about the match. Jig came in. The cricket was an absolute battle in both legs. You came out throwing very well and came out somehow on the wrong side of both of those legs, despite throwing some excellent cricket. You know, talk to us about the mindset you had coming into this match with that cricket, and you know how playing that well in cricket set you up for 501.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me I was going to average a 3.0 in one leg and hit 14 bowls in another, I'd be like, oh yeah, I won both those legs. No, they were great battles. I'm sure they were great to watch. Like I had fun playing them. I was on fire on bull that second leg. Yeah, I just wasn't hitting trebles. He was. I think that's pretty much the difference in those 2 legs. In terms of how they set us up for 501, I think we kind of lost it a little bit there. I know I didn't get Surgeon's best game in 01 tonight, as evidenced by me taking 3 legs off him. So, but yeah, no, cricket was fire. I enjoyed cricket a lot.
Yeah, it was very good, and obviously losing a couple legs like that could be detrimental, but you stayed in it, and again, may not have been Surgeon's best night, but I mean, looking at the numbers, they're pretty much right on your guys' averages for the season. 51 for you, Jig, and 55 for the Surgeon, so it's not like you got his worst game either, but he came out there and hung around, able to pick up 3 against the Surgeon. How did that live up to your expectations of what you were looking to get out of this match?
I didn't think I would get 3. Last time I played Surgeon in a 3 seasons ago, I was battling for staying up, and I needed like 2 legs. I won the first leg in cricket, and then he took the last 8. so,
As the criminal rejoices on that fondly.
But I mean, yeah, no. Honestly, for only playing 1 day a week, I was surprised at myself in cricket today. I was like, I never hit bull that much. No, I felt like it was a pretty good match. I think we both the doubles weren't great for either of us tonight. Neither of us scoring, honestly. I think 0-1 was just kind of a wash, but cricket somehow we were on point there.
Yeah, ended up able to get 3 and looking to build on that going into next week. Going to have DeGrubs on the schedule for game week 6. What are you looking forward to from that one, and what's the game plan?
I'm not sure I've ever played DeGrubs before, honestly. I think we kind of had like a weird thing where he skipped divisions while I was moving up and down. I mean, I've watched him throw. He can be really, really on, or he can be really, really off. If I get like 3 or 4 off him, I'd be happy with that, honestly. I'm just trying to stay alive at this point.
Well, the 3 off one of the best players in the league, certainly going to help that campaign. Hope the kitten was able to avoid the falling darts, Jig. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thanks, buddy. Nice cast. Good shooting, Surge.
Hey, great match, man.
We'll go over to the Surgeon from some dungeon somewhere in the Middle East, locked away in a bunker. Coming out, able to pick off 6 wins in this one. Tell us how you felt about your performance this evening.
It was up and down for sure. I came out great. The cricket legs were great fun. I mean, I was feeling. I knew Jig would bring it, and he did, and kept me to it, and let off the gas for a while there. And as expected, he was right there and finished out those legs that I was just kind of stumbled a bit. I mean, there's one really ugly leg. I need to get those out of my game for sure. But other than that, I mean, it was about what I expected. I knew he wasn't going to back down, and he doesn't go away after he loses a couple. I mean, he's going to battle the whole way. So I was, obviously being up 2-0, you want to kind of keep it going, and up 3-0, I guess. And then he came right back, and it was a game. And so hats off to him, man. He's always a good battle.
Yeah, got up 2-0, kind of setting the stage. But I think for this match, as entertaining as it was throughout, cricket was really the story. Like, that cricket was unbelievable, back and forth. Trebles were locked in for you, while it was almost like flipped a little bit, because in the Open we talked about how your miss percentage was at 33 and his was at 46. He wasn't missing anything. He just wasn't finding the big ones, and you were finding some bigger scores. How much confidence did finding the trebles early give you to keep pushing and keep going in those cricket legs?
It was great. I mean, I think I heard you mention about the bonus point. No one got a 7 mark, so I was happy to get that checked off right off the bat. And then later you're talking about the 180s and bonus points. So I haven't got one all season, so I'm like, all right. I put that in the back of my head to get me motivation to turn it back on again, and that happened. So that was fun. But I don't know what the question was.
I don't know. I don't remember either, so we'll just assume that you answered it there. And looking forward to next week. I'm sure you've had this one starred on your schedule all season. Championship rematch, game week 6. You've got King Raj on the schedule. What's the game plan? What do you expect out of that one?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know who makes these schedules. I have King Raj, and then I have to play my floating game week match against Left-Hand Hooligan next week too. So, I mean, whoever makes these schedules, hats off to them. I'm excited for next week. I think it's gonna be fun.
Well,
I'm looking
Kamish,
forward
I don't know who makes the schedules either, but I remember back when I was in A, I never had the darts when I got to throw against the surgeon. So I don't know who makes the schedules, but it's certainly rigged. Whoever is making them.
whoever's doing it.
But surgeon, always a pleasure. Congratulations on the 6-3 victory this evening, and good luck the rest of the way.
Cheers, man. Thanks.
No worries. So there you go. There you have it. A 6-3 victory for the Surgeon in the first match of the evening. We got some commercial interruption. Yeah, that's right. We got commercials here in the FODL. That's right, but they're commercials for ourselves. www.fodartleague.com/store. Buy some FODL merchandise for yourself. Show off your FODL pride and FODL fandom. 33 viewers out there. Don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more matches coming up when Darts Night on Twitch, here presented by the FODL, return.
Top 8 or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back getting ready for our second matchup of tonight's triple header. But before we do that, I'm going to remind you that the FODL Weekly Podcast, it's a thing. It exists out there. Wherever you find your podcasting. It's on Spotify now, allegedly. It's a running joke because I guess Spotify is the last one to get posted for whatever reason, however it works. But wherever you find your podcasting, if you're into that kind of thing, the FODL Weekly Podcast with your hosts Pepe Le and Red Rascal. Good times right into Rascal's mailbag and hear Rascal's Conspiracy Corner and hear the lovely voice of Slappy Pappy featured as well. We got more darts to get to for tonight's cast. Another A Division matchup featuring the players on your screen. The Nooch, throwing from Long Beach, California, last season finished 3rd place in the FODL A Division with the 23-gram Unicorn Ando Phase 3 darts. Hashtag Noochalicious. He is going up against the left-hand Hooligan, throwing out of Frederick, Maryland. Last season finished 1st place in the FODL B division. Absolutely dominated the FODL B division. I can tell you from first-hand experience. Throwing with 22-gram Designa Elite 95 darts. Hashtag left is right. I like that hashtag. I don't know if I've heard it yet, but I like that hashtag. Looking at the standings now, I don't think they've been updated from the Surgeon or the Jigs match, so you see them still sitting with 5 games played, so they're a little bit off as far as what they're looking at. The left-hand Hooligan currently trailing King Raj by 10 points, but he's got the match in hand. King Raj has already played 6 matches. The Nooch is currently in 4th place behind Shenandoah Slinger by 1, but the Nooch has 2 matches in hand over Shenandoah Slinger, so effectively 2 top 3 players coming at you in this matchup we got. Looking at the schedule, so again, you can see that things have not been updated. Highest cricket throw, the Surgeon did register a 7 mark. He also had, I think, like a 3.2 or 3.3 MPR to knock off King Raj's 3.0, but King Raj's 18 still stands. Surgeon did get a maximum for the highest 501 throw, and I think somebody had a 79 checkout or a 73, something. Somebody had something that I think would have qualified, but it's not updated yet, so spreadsheet not there. Going to the stats, left-hand Hooligan, number 1 in the league in cricket, 3.23 MPR. Yowza. Miss percentage, 27%. Treble and bull, 26%. And the 5-mark percentage is 19%. Almost 1 out of every 5 turns is a 5 mark for left-hand Hooligan. Wow. The Nooch is 5th in cricket MPR with a 2.73. He's missing 33% of his darts. Treble and bull is 19% and 12% 5-mark percentage. Left-hand Hooligan yet to lose a leg of cricket. Playing with a 3.3 MPR, it's going to be pretty good. It's hard to beat, generally. The Nooch is winning 70% of his legs of cricket. In 501, A little bit tighter, a little bit narrower gap. Left-hand Hooligan is second, and the Nooch is third in average. 62.22 for left-hand, 60.25 for the Nooch. So both players breaking that 60 threshold. The Nooch slightly higher in first 9, and I mean slightly, 70.9 to 70.8. Average finishes very comparable. Ton plus percentage 15 to 13 in favor of left-hand. But again, that's all very close. Left-hand Hooligan winning 69% of his legs in 501. That's nice. The Nooch winning 66. We're going to kick it to the split view now as we see our players on the screen. Is this going to be the Nooch on the left and left-hand Hooligan on the right? So left, again, hashtag left is right. If our players ready, we'll get it underway. Left-hand Hooligan ready.
We haven't corked yet.
I'm ready.
All right, left-hand's ready. Nooch, if you're ready, I guess you guys can cork whenever you're ready to do that.
Outside.
So we will actually get to watch the players corking for the throw here. That's always fun. As the Nooch's first start comes in outside. And it looks like a 25 there for the left-hand Hooligan. So it is going to be left-hand Hooligan who's got the darts in hand. And both of our players said we're ready. 9 legs once again for another A division matchup. 2 of cricket, 7 of 501. Left-hand Hooligan with darts in hand. Game on!
Shoot well, lefty.
All right, Nooch, all the best, man. Shoot well.
We do have some other matches going on simultaneously with this one. You see the scoreboards at the top. Beef Easy versus Alki in a FODL C matchup. That one, Alki leading 1-0. Got the first leg of cricket under his belt. Slappy Pappy and the Doughboy in a FODL C matchup as well. That's in the first leg. It's 0-0 up there. Left-hand Hooligan starting off with just 3 20s. So already playing below his cricket average at just 3.0. Nooch is going to answer with 3 solid 19s. So Congra, the dream of the full circle cricket game, is very much alive. And the dream is dead. Left-hand Hooligan's going to get 4 marks there. He'll get 4 19s. It's only going to count for 3 and a single 18. So there goes the circles on the left-hand side. Nooch is going to find a nice treble 18 with his second dart. So he'll get a 4-mark response, and he'll get 18 points on the board. Left-hand Hooligan gets a single 20 and 2 18s to get the close. So left-hand employing a strategy very similar to what we've seen the Surgeon do, where as soon as he gets the point lead, he starts going after the other wedge, forcing the Nooch to move down to 17s. Some very close darts to the treble, but just 2 17s as it goes low and high on either side.
Oh, no.
Left-hand Hooligan, he'll only get 2 17s as well, so an opportunity coming for the Nooch to potentially close and score points. And he will score some points, however, he gets just 2 17s, so he gets up by 15. Lefty with the 20 wedges to score. I'm staying there for the first 2 darts, so he'll score 40 points and get a single 17. 3 more steady darts from left-hand Hooligan. Nooch will be on the move again, trying to find another scoring wedge.
Oh.
It might just be 5. It is 5 16s for the Nooch there. The shadows were playing tricks with my eyes, so didn't want to call anything too prematurely this time.
Oh,
Yeah, left-hand Hooligan with just a single 20, so he gets back on top in points, but not able to do anything else. Went after the 16s with his first dart, and then after he missed, went over to the 15s. But now it's Nooch being the aggressor. First dart at the 16s to get the point lead. Went for the hero dart with the second, found a single. Drops back down to the 16s for more points. However, it left him up by just 19. And that looks like just 2 20s for left-hand Hooligan. Get him a pair, which puts him up by 21. Around the league, Alki sweeping the cricket portion against Beef Easy there. Nooch with a nice 5-mark round here. 4 16s, and he gets another 20 with his third dart. So he is inching closer to a close of the 20 wedge, which Left Hand has been enjoying a comfortable scoring opportunity. And Left Hand narrowly missing a treble 20, gets into the treble 1, so he gets just 2, trailing by 3 points. And then Nooch is going to get the 20s close the first dart, finding the treble just for extra punishment. Treble 20, treble 15, single bull, a huge turn for the Nooch. 5-mark round for him, but more importantly, closing the 15s and pushing Left Hand Hooligan to only be able to score on the center of the board. Left Hand's first visit in the middle gets a single bull and a stray 16. The Nooch looking to finish this one up. There's a stray 15 for some points. Trying to work his way back over. Can't see where the point of that one is. It looks so it's in a single. There you have it there after that dart gets pulled. Nooch is potentially 1 away unless Left Hand Hooligan can get some points on the board here, which he cannot do. Just the single bull there. Oh, correction, 2 bulls there for Left Hand Hooligan. So he gets it closed, but no points. Nooch looking for 1. And he will find it with the first dart. Game, shot, and the leg going to the Nooch with a nice tidy 3.4, handing Left Hand Hooligan his first cricket loss of the season. And it was against the darts. Great battle there from the Nooch to take that one. Nooch is going to have the darts in hand when we return to the board. Game on. Conrad Dart says the first rule of the perfect circle game is never mention the perfect circle game. Had to do it, though. Had to. Nooch going to get things started with 3 steady 20s. D-Win 1919 joining in as part of the hashtag Slapdick Army. Where's Slappy Pappy at? He is playing. He's up in the right-hand corner there, playing against Doughboy. Doughboy took the first cricket leg there. He's up 1-0. Left Hand Hooligan, he's going to respond with 3 19s of his own. Yota JMU saying, extra, extra, Lefty loses a leg of cricket. There's some strange times we live in. Hashtag 2020. Nooch is going to plod along here, 3 steady 19s, so he will not give Left Hand Hooligan a chance to breathe here. We saw this strategy from Left Hand in the first leg. And Lefty only going to manage a single 18 with his second visit. Nooch going after 18s on his third trip, but just manages a pair, so not able to get that wedge closed. Left Hand looking to take advantage. He gets 2 of them himself, which will get the wedge closed, but he doesn't get any points on the board. So currently no points scored for either player. And Nooch is going to get the treble to close with the flourish, and now he'll go over to the 20s with his second, drop down to the 17. So 3 marks for the Nooch, 120, 118, 117. So Nooch gets points on the board there with his second dart. Left Hand Hooligan looking to get going. Just 2 17s, so continuing to work around the 2.0 threshold rather than the 3, while Nooch has been able to stay up near the 3.0, right around 2.8. He was 3.4 for the first leg. Oh, but there's a big miss for the Nooch, just finding a single 17. He got it with the first dart, so he potentially had 2 darts to close the 17 or close it and score if he was able to find a big treble, but wasn't able to do it. And Left Hand Hooligan is going to punish 4 17s and a single 20. So Left Hand Hooligan gets 51 points on the board and starts working on that close of 20s with a single. It's going to force the Nooch to go back and try to get more points back on the 20 wedge. Keep him at bay for the time being. There's 2 20s with the first 2 darts, and this time he gets the close of 17 with his final. 60 total points, 2 20s, 1 17. Left Hand Hooligan yet again on the move. Left Hand dropping over to 16s now. Trying to fill it up. Looks like he gets 1. Maybe that second dart is in there as well. It is just the single, though. Both the second and third darts low into the 7. So Nooch once again with the advantage, trying to get another wedge closed out in front of Lefty. And he'll do so with 3 steady 16s. Nooch got a 2-wedge advantage now. Left-hand Hooligan desperately looking for some points. And finding the corner of that treble 15 with his last dart for 4. Gets him back on top by 6 points. A slim margin, especially considering Nooch with that 20 wedge. And the Nooch again. Huge darts for the Nooch. Single 20 and goes treble 15, single bull. Very reminiscent of the last leg, only taking 2 darts to close off 15 in 2 legs. It means he found a treble 15 both times. Looks like left-hand Hooligan is going to get the 20s closed there. Found a stray, went up for the 3rd one as well. So gets the 20s closed, but doesn't get anything in the bull. Nooch looking for 2 to finish it off. There's the first. He's got 2 darts in hand to find another. I think that's in there. It is in there with the second game shot. And the leg going to the Nooch as he's able to slip both of them in there. The first 2 darts as he sweeps the cricket portion of this match. Against the darts, left-hand Hooligan going to be looking to get things going here in 501 as he's got darts in hand. Game on! Yota James, you saying clutch. Wow, wow, wow. And then some, what looks like skeletons being electrocuted emotes in the chat. Around the other matches, Alki up 3-0 now over Beef Easy as he swept cricket, takes the first leg of 501. Slappy Pappy and Doughboy in a battle in the second leg of cricket. You see the points battle brewing. Slappy Pappy with a 2.5 MPR, Doughboy with a 2.4 as Slappy has a 6-point lead. Left-hand Hooligan getting things started here in 501 with a 47. 60 scored for the Nooch on the comeback. So Nooch trying not to have left-hand get any breathing room whatsoever, taking the fight to his opponent. And 58 scored for the left-hand Hooligan. Talk about left-hand is. He came into FODL B last season, his rookie season, and just absolutely steamrolled the FODL B division. He's been leading for much of this season as well here in FODL A, making his name felt across the ranks. But the Nooch has been in FODL A for a couple seasons now, and he's not having any of it. He's used to this kind of environment, this kind of pressure, and he's got the darts to hang. There's an 87 scored for the Nooch. His left hand, we talked about his prowess in cricket, how many trebles he had been hitting, just not finding them to this point, although it looks like he's going to get one on this visit for an 81. With the trebles, obviously massive for scoring. And the Nooch is going to salvage that turn, finding a treble 20 of his own. 80 scored, as he also had a treble 5 and a single 5. And 84 scored for the left-hand Hooligan. Wanted the 18 on the switch to leave the big fish, but missed. Or correction, to leave 160, but missed. And that looks like just 45 from the Nooch, so neither player on a finish yet, but they're both knocking at the door, which means the left hand's going to have the opportunity to get there first, which he will. And just how low will it go? It looks like 94 scored for left-hand Hooligan to leave 80. Which is what it is. Finding the treble 18, switching with the second dart, moving back to the 20s with his third. So the Nooch trying to match here. Coming back, it's just going to be 40 scored down to 148. Left-hand Hooligan requires 80. He'll have 1 dart at tops. And misses that one well high, but he'll be coming back if he gets a shot. The Nooch for a massive finish for 148. And it's off. First dart into the 1. Some rough darts there for the Nooch, just barely on the wrong side of the wire. 24 scored. Left-hand Hooligan requires double 20. Inside now to the Rascal. It's outside, but it's a pretty good marker. It is blocking the view, though. I'm not sure if that third dart is in the way he's pulling on it. It is in there with the third dart. Game shot and the leg to left-hand Hooligan as Red Rascal says yes to hashtag Team Big Body as left-hand gets his first leg of the match, making this one 2-1. We're going to come back to the board. Nooch will have darts in hand. Game on! D-Win 19-19-19 will be happy to know Slappy Pappy took that second leg of cricket in his match, leveling the match at 1 apiece as they moved to 501. There's 45 to get things started for the Nooch. Now left hand, now he's got that first leg under his belt. See if that will settle him. We'll see if the big scores start coming back. 59 there, had a couple darts lying right on top of the treble bed. Very close. Nooch is going to get into it, though. That might be a ton 34. That second dart so close. It is a ton 34. Very near that treble 7, but it was into the treble 19. Good scoring from the Nooch there. Able to keep both shots into the treble cover. 55 coming in from left-hand Hooligan. But it's the Nooch out and running here with that 2 treble visit in round 2. 60 scored to back it up, gets under 300, averaging 80 for the first 9. Left-hand Hooligan, there's a good treble, trying to catch back up. And that looks like a ton scored for the left-hand Hooligan, so he gets his first treble and ton plus visit in this leg. And he will not go away either. I think that's just a ton. Oh, that is a ton 25. That second dart into the treble, banging off of the other dart, and the Nooch on a finish after 12. Left-hand Hooligan again going for the cover, just barely missing. 59 scored. The Nooch requires 137. It's off. Nooch with a pair of 2 treble visits here has gotten him under 100 after 15, left with 94. Left-hand Hooligan at 228, trying to get to an out. Just to maybe sit in the back of Nooch's mind here that he could be threatening, but 42 not enough from 228. Nooch requires 94. Nooch taking some time to make sure he did the math correctly, which he does. Missed into the 1, had 93, found the treble 19, 1 dart for double 18, missing outside. He will be coming back to the board, though. Left hand, not yet on a finish, 186. He'll be there with his next visit. There's 96 scored from left-hand. Hooligan gets down to 90, but the Nooch requires 36. And he'll find it. First dart, game shot, and the leg. A tidy 19 darter in response, coming in from the Nooch as he goes up 3-1 now in this match. Left-hand Hooligan coming back to the board with darts in hand. Game on! Alki taking another leg off of Beef Easy, now up 4-0, securing a match victory. In FODL C, they play just 7 legs, so up 4-0. He's got a guaranteed win there. 58 scored for left-hand Hooligan. We'll come into the chat. We got some rascal faces in there from Hooligan's first leg. Pits 2 saying, you know it's good darts when a 24 darter seems pedestrian. That's a fact. D-Win 19-19-19 excited. Not sure if he's excited about that nice 19 darter from the Nooch or if he's excited about Slappy leveling the match at 1. K-Ball 02 with a green. Yeah. Vote yeah. So he's excited for the darts. I think this is pretty much the quality of darts we expected from these two players. Although coming out a little bit sluggish out of the gate in leg 3, but we've seen how the scoring can turn on its head instantly with these two. And there's a ton scored as I say it, coming in from left-hand Hooligan. And the Nooch's first dart is in the treble as well. And it's going to be 94 scored from the Nooch, trying to get the cover shot after finding the treble 5. The treble 5 for 15 with his second dart. So rectifying some of the early scoring woes there with visit number 3 each. Left-hand Hooligan tickling the top of that treble wire on the 20s, but it's just 59 scored. So Nooch looking to continue the treble train, but he doesn't do it. I think it's just 45 for him. Left-hand Hooligan this time leading the way, had darts in hand, but another near miss for him. Just 43 scored, finding the treble 1 instead of that treble 20. Again, the misses have not been far off for either player. So both guys dialed in, up for the task in this match. And there it is. There's a breakfast from the Nooch. Single 5, single 20, single 1. Wasn't sure if we'd have one in this match. Was kind of hoping we wouldn't because breakfast question's hard to think up. But we got one anyway, courtesy of the Nooch. We'll get to that breakfast in the next leg as we've got left-hand Hooligan scoring 40, getting onto a finish.
Oh, goodness.
And Nooch looks like he's going to follow up the breakfast with just 28. So left-hand Hooligan requires 167. It's off. First start's 5. But he's going to score 81 and drop under 100 with 86 remaining. Nooch back at 229, trying to get to an out himself. And it's just going to be 40, or correction, that is 81, so that dart was into the treble. So he does get to an out at 148. Left-hand Hooligan requires 86.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he misses a big number to potentially leave a shot at the bull. Had he found the treble, would have left double 7. Instead, hits the 4. So he's going to have 64 with one dart in hand. He goes out for the 16s, left with 48. Nooch, 100 more, requires 148. And that dart is just into the corner of the 5. But a good correction with the second dart. And that's going to be 82 scored for the Nooch. Left hand requires 48. 2 for tops. I think that's in. That is in there, just into the bottom of that double bed. Game shot and the leg going to left-hand Hooligan. Once again, nipping at the Nooch's heels, making this one 3-2 and holding the throw. So the Nooch with the only break, and that coming in cricket, holds a throw here in 501. Nooch with darts in hand. Game on! Pitts 2 saying that one is clinical. Him being the surgeon, he would know what clinical looks like. There's a ton start for the Nooch. And we do owe a breakfast question. So, if you're going to have some sort of egg sandwich for breakfast, or, you know, egg sandwich, egg burrito, whatever you want to, whatever kind of egg handheld type of meal you're going to have for breakfast, 32 viewers out there, what kind of cheese are you putting on that egg sandwich? Let me know. A nice 95 to follow up the ton from the Nooch. Well, that's a weird deflection from left-hand Hooligan. You see that dart pointing at the camera, and we're at an offset angle. So it's going to be 46, or correction, 56 scored for the Nooch, or the left-hand Hooligan, finding a treble 5 and a treble 7. Nooch somehow working around that second dart. That was at a weird angle for his second ton of the leg, averaging 98 for the first 9. Once again, getting out to a massive start. Left-hand Hooligan coming back with another steady 59, but not able to keep up with the power scoring from the Nooch, and he is right back in the treble bed. And that looks to be his third ton of the leg. 100 scored down to 106 after 12. Left hand with a lot of work to do to catch up here. And that looks like 58 yet again. Maybe. It was 58, so he's down to 268. Nooch requires 106.
Oh, my goodness.
And 32 scored from the Nooch, missing the 19s, left with 74. Will be coming back. Left hand trying to get to a big finish from the 268. And that must be a 55. That second dart was very close to that treble 20. Oh, it is a ton. So maybe some eye rolls worthy of the chat there could have dropped in. Nooch was 74. He's going to find trouble 8 with his first. Oh, but he misses the 10 down into 15. Does leave himself on 32, all said and done. 42 scored for the Nooch. He will be coming back. His left-hand Hooligan has left the bogey 168. I wasn't sure. When he stayed on the treble or on the 20s, I thought that second dart was into the treble 15. Because if he had switched over to 18s, he could have left the fish. It's 59 scored for left-hand Hooligan. That will leave him an out now, 109, but Nooch sitting on 32. And he'll get it with the second dart. Game shot and the leg going to the Nooch as he answers back with a 20-darter of his own. A great start. You saw there 100, 95, 100, 100. Left-hand Hooligan looking to rebound. Game on! Beef Easy getting his first leg win of his match. It's now 4-1 there. The Doughboy took the first leg of 5-0-1. Going up 2-1 over Slappy. We do have a couple of answers to the breakfast question. Empire 3, thanks for joining the chat. Pepperjack is what he's going to go with. The train photo saying cheddar bro. I don't know what cheddar bro cheese is. I know what cheddar cheese is, but cheddar bro? Never heard of it. Another ton start for the Nooch. Repat 180 joining the chat. Thank you very much, Repat 180. Smoked Gouda. Lush Throws Dart says Pepperjack faux show. K-Ball02 says extra sharp cheddar. Yota JMU did throw in some Chroma eye rolls, as did Chatter09. Yota JMU also joining the cheddar train. There's a 96 to follow up for the Nooch after left-hand Hooligan had gone around the world finding the treble 18 with his last for a 93. So again, the scoring at a premium here in this match. 60 scored for left-hand Hooligan. But the Nooch has caught fire the last two legs. Just a 45 there, so he drops off a little bit, but still a little bit out in front here against the darts, looking for the first 501 break of throw. Left-hand Hooligan looking to prevent that, but that's just going to be 46 again. Left-hand Hooligan all over the trebles, but just high, barely missing them. Nooch going to register 83 there, so he'll be the first under 200, but he's not able to get to an out there either. Train photo says cheddar, bro. I hate commas and grammar, but he put it in there correctly, and now I understand what he meant. See how grammar is important out there, kids. Learn the grammars. 41 scored for left hand. He's still above 200, so the Nooch trying to keep the pressure applied to get to an out first. And that looks like it's going to be 31. So missing left with all the darts, a couple of fives, and then the treble 7 with the last. So he does get to an out first, but doesn't really extend a whole lot. Left-hand Hooligan's going to join him with a finish after scoring 58. Down to 146 as well. Nooch has the first shot. It's going to be off. First start missing the treble, but could have a huge setup here. It's going to be 89 scored for the Nooch. Down to 57. Now left hand, his attempt for 146. It's going to be off as well, so we saw the difference in strategies there. Nooch wanted the treble 20s. Left hand was going for the 19s. And that looks like it's just going to be 65 for left hand Hooligan, hitting the 3 and the 2. Down to 81. Nooch requires 57. 2 for tops. That's a good marker. Oh, but he can't use it. It slips just inside. 20 remaining. Left-hand Hooligan now requires 81. Oh, and left-hand Hooligan wanted the treble or single 12, but dropped low into the treble 9. So will not have a finish. Now looking for a setup with his final dart. Finds the 3 for 49 scored for left-hand Hooligan. Leaves him 32. The Nooch requires the Rascal. He's averaging 69. Nice.
Come on, Rascal.
and he gets it with the first dart. The Rascal says yes. Game shot, and the leg going over to the Nooch as he goes up 5-2. He's going to secure a match victory, and there are still 2 legs to play as he gets the first break in 5:01. Nooch coming back to the board with darts in hand. Game on! Slappy Pappy levels his match at 2 apiece as he gets the second leg of 5:01 up top. So some good FODL C battles going on as well. Nooch going to get things started in this leg with the 41, so dropping off the ton plus scoring that he had to start the last couple legs. Left-hand Hooligan's looking to pick it up, though. He's going to get 96 in there, the good couple cover shots down at the bottom half. Nooch going to go back-to-back 40 scores, 41-45. So now left-hand Hooligan with an opportunity to set a pretty good lead here in the early goings against the darts. 57 scored for left-hand. So he's trying to get as much room as possible. Obviously, both players at any moment. Well, there's a bounce out. See ya! As that one was 60 on the floor. You saw it hit awkwardly into that treble, so just maybe a weird angle as that one came into the board. Wasn't able to grab the sisal as it finds the floor for nothing. And a 20 Warden scored for the left-hand Hooligan. So, if you, again, cheers to you out there, 34 viewers. Take a drink for the 21. I'll take a sip of my tequila sunrise. And I seriously misjudged how much grenadine I actually put in there. So it's a lot of grenadine at the moment since I'm near the bottom of it. And it's called a tequila sunrise because the grenadine sinks to the bottom, so you got the red and then the orange, and it looks like a sunrise. So it's basically drinking sugar water at this point. But I'll power through. Don't you worry. There's a nice ton powered in from left-hand Hooligan, speaking of powering through, as he gets that that 3-dart average here up to 69 for this leg. Nice. The Nooch drops in a solid 60, looking to give chase here from left-hand Hooligan. So Nooch had gotten off to that slowish start, coming on lately with the 85 and the 60. Left-hand Hooligan got off to a good start and tried to recover after the 21. Treble 19 will help. That looks like a 77. It's a 65, so the third dart found the 7, which leaves the bogey, unfortunately. And Nooch will keep them all straight, so he's on 170, which means the Nooch has actually gotten to checkout range first. Left hand, however, has the opportunity to get a good setup and put pressure on the big fish. And it's going to be 100 scored for the left-hand Hooligan. That's a great setup there. But Nooch, it's on. Oh, he gave it a run, had the first dart in the treble. He will score a ton as well, get down to 70. Left-hand Hooligan requires 62. One dart for tops. And that one goes inside. 42 scored, 20 remaining for left-hand. The Nooch now requires 70. For double 16.
Yep.
And that's in the corner of the double 16. Game shot and the leg to the Nooch as he takes out the 70 finish. Barely keeping that one into the treble 16, but it is in there. Almost a disaster into the double 7. Left-hand Hooligan going to have darts in hand for the final leg of this match. Game on! Shatter09 saying, my goodness. K-Ball02 saying, cheers. Barboy 1987 coming into the chat. Whoa, tuning in. Did not expect this score. This one's been a good match, back and forth. Some high-quality darts. Both players, again, in the 60 average range here in 501. Looked like left-hand was able to get off to, looked like a 78 start, I believe. Although it doesn't look like his score registered on the board. So maybe having the little difficulties there. So there we go. We got the 78. Maybe just didn't register the enter button push as the Nooch starts off with 58. K-Ball throwing in the surprised emote. As left-hand Hooligan comes back scoring 59. .60 scored for the Nooch. He's staying consistent. Both players pretty consistent scoring here in the early goings. Again, Nooch's security match victory, but left hand knows how important all these are. And they had the ton 80 sweat. It's a ton 21 being dropped in from the left-hand Hooligan. Finding a couple trebles there with the first two. Had the sweat, missed the third dart right. But it looks like the Nooch is going to answer back with a ton of his own. Almost thought it was a 140, that third dart just deflecting a little bit below that treble. But left hand starting to heat up now. There's a ton to back up the 1-2-1 as he is now on an out after 12. The Nooch trying to get there. Going to need a couple of trebles. There's one. And he'll find a second, a 1-3-4 from the Nooch. Gets down to 149. Left-hand Hooligan requires 143. It's on. Couldn't find the treble 17, but still opportunity for a really, really good setup. Missed the treble 12 there, or the treble 10 there. Gonna leave himself 51 as he scores 92. The Nooch requires 149. It's gonna be off first dart into the 20. Still looking to chase down a good score here. 59 scored will leave him on 90. Left-hand Hooligan requires 51. Oh, that's into the 7, so now he's got to clean up 44. He wanted the 19 for the double 16. Let's see what target he chooses here. Now he's going to choose the 4, wants one dart at tops. Misses outside, 40 remaining. The Nooch requires 90. Went for it, but he misses low and left into the 7. Left with 43. Left-hand Hooligan, 3 darts in hand, looking for 40. Inside to the Rascal. And it looks like that's in there. I think so. Just look, waiting for confirmation. It is! And the Rascal says yes once again. Game shot. And the leg going to left-hand Hooligan as he's able to take out the 40 finish on the Rascal. And it's a final of 6-3 in favor of the Nooch. Looking around the board, Beef Easy, after going down 4-0, wins the final 3 5-1 legs to make it 4-3. Slappy Pappy and Doughboy deadlocked at 2 apiece. We're going to go to the interview portion. We're going to go over to left-hand Hooligan first. Left-hand coming into this one had been a dominating force in cricket. Looked like you were in command in that first leg until Nooch got that 1-5 mark turn that really kind of turned the tides here. Talk to us about how your performance matched up with how you felt coming into this one.
I blame FODL A and Red Rascal for their game prediction podcast for all of it. This is I couldn't find a triple. I was struggling. Everything that I threw was, when I was really pushing at it, it was on the wire, but I couldn't put them in there, and I really couldn't apply any pressure to Nooch in that cricket leg. In that first leg, and looking back now, I definitely should have went to score more. I guess arrogance. I don't know what made me keep trying to push forward, but just the way things have been going lately, I've been able to push forward and trip the next number and get an extra box on my opponent. But tonight I wasn't able to do that. Every time I tried to go forward, I hit a single or miss. So Nooch, great job, good shooting. He kept the pressure on me all night, and it showed in my darts.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. He kept the pressure on you, but you were responding well, and like you were saying, you were throwing a lot of really good darts. I don't know how many of them were literally touching the wire every time. It just was that matter of a millimeter here or there that really made the difference. But, still came in. Cricket was a little bit below your average, but tonight in 501, still threw a 64. He was just up to the task. So talk to us about, that kind of match as far as, your mindset when you're going in. It's like, I'm not throwing poorly. He's just kind of throwing better right now.
Yeah, and obviously everyone in A can put up the numbers. And I mean, Nooch is the top of the A group shot. I don't think really, like I said, I just never could get out from under. I started 0-2. The pressure just gets on you. It gets in, you feel it in your arm. You feel it in the mechanics. If you never get comfortable, you don't get to, start rolling. And hats off to him for jumping out 2-0 and putting it on me. So I mean, it was really I kept on putting the darts right on the wire. And at first that doesn't bother you, but as the match goes on and you need them to go, it starts to wear on your mentality also. So.
Yeah, I certainly get that. It kind of turns into like, at what point is that one that feels good out of my hand actually going to go in? And then you're like, why isn't it in there? So I certainly get that frustration, Lefty. So eating a loss here tonight, but still played well. Looking to turn it around next week. Have the author on the docket. What's the game plan to get ready for that one?
There's going to be no nice words before the author. He knows what's coming. The bad guy's waiting for that one. Maybe I looked forward past this one a little bit too much to the author. Week 6, that's a big match.
Looking forward to it. Embracing the bad guy role. Left-hand Hooligan. Again, a solid performance this evening. Didn't go your way, but good luck the rest of the way, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Yeah, thanks for the cast. Great shooting, Nooch. Keep it going, man.
And we will go over to the Nooch, coming out with a 6-3 victory, but I think the big surprise coming in was sweeping Cricket against the guy who was coming in with a 3.2 average across the season. So talk to us about how much confidence that gave you getting the first 2 in Cricket.
It was a little surprising because I didn't throw great. I'm not kidding myself. I didn't get, Lefty's best games in those early legs. But once I had them, you got to use them. You got to feel, talk to yourself about how you're in this lead and try to capitalize on that. Just the same as if you were behind, you got to figure out how to throw that away. So it was great to be able to use that moving forward for sure.
Yeah, and you certainly utilize that. We saw the scoring be pretty consistent from you. There were a couple of 2 trouble visits, but there were a bunch of 1 trouble visits, just stacking 85s and tons and 95s. I think that one leg that you came out, it was 100, 100, 95, 100, and just not really giving him the opportunity or keeping the pressure on him to make him throw the big ton 40s and ton 30s. Talk to us about how the throws felt, because we talked last time that you're working on a little bit of an adjustment in your pullback, and it seemed to really continue to work for you this evening.
100%. Like that progress, I feel, is still rolling forward. My practice is still going great. I'm throwing great scrimmage matches, stuff like that. So it's just a matter of kind of testing it under conditions like this, real world conditions, to see where it holds up, where it doesn't. It's a little bit here and there. I feel like it didn't really kick in until maybe that second game of cricket there, second game of 01. And then, as you got towards the end of the legs and it was getting a little testier, it was a little less reliable, which is exactly what you'd expect. So I just need to kind of stick with it. I mean, I feel like it means that I'm working on the right stuff. I'm going in the right directions. So I'm just going to keep it up and see how many matches I can play this way, and hope that experience kind of settles things down and just keeps upping that consistency like you were talking about.
Yeah, and again, this one, a potential playoff preview matchup, as you guys are both sitting near the top of the table in the FODL A division. So being able to pull off a 6-3 victory against a quality opponent such as Left-Hand Hooligan, what does that do for you and your confidence moving forward in the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'll be able to think of this next time I run into him. It's always nice to be able to think back on, I took this guy last time, so why can't I do it again? Whether that's sort of realistic or not, it's one of those things you got to use to try to tell yourself to have some confidence. So I'll do that. I mean, I know. I think last week I said I'd never played Lefty, but I think we did play in the Open Cup, and he beat me pretty. It was close-ish, but it was throwing pretty strong, and so we're really just 1-1. But I'm going to forget about that. Next time I see him, I'll be thinking about this match instead, and how I had it, how he was intimidated, and all that kind of stuff, which is not true. But I'll tell myself that anyway. But I feel like it was really kind of lucky to get these legs tonight because they kind of count for double points, right? Because he was at the top of the table. So that brings him a little bit closer into reach. My goal the rest of the way has got to just make sure I'm in solid position heading into the playoffs, and then hope that the progress that I've been making keeps going so that my game is really ready when it comes down to it in the postseason when it really should be tight.
So you might have the confidence to be like, well, I beat him last time. Why can't I beat him again? If you guys end up playing again in the playoffs, he might be like, he beat me last time. I'm going to wipe him this time. So that kind of goes both ways. We'll see if it happens, but looking forward to next week, Nooch. You've got Dilly coming up, and Dilly has been resurgent this season. He's been playing some excellent darts. So what's the game plan, and what are you looking forward to out of that one?
It's just sort of the gauntlet. I got Dilly. I also got King Raj in my second floating match. I think we got to take care of that sometime over the holiday weekend, maybe something like that. So it's just trying to keep this rolling and play as many matches as I can while I'm feeling good and hope for the best. I know he's just been on fire, and he can pop up anytime. It's not going to be easy, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, and so next week, obviously going to be a little bit of a battle of the beards. His a little bit more unruly than yours, but probably equally in length. Nooch, congratulations on the victory this evening, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks. I'll give him some trimming tips if he sticks around after the match.
I don't know if he probably won't even take them. He doesn't care. Appreciate the time, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks. Throw on Lefty. Thanks.
Thanks,
Radar.
We'll throw it over to the mid-card once again, ladies and gentlemen, because we have one more match upcoming. It's going to be a FODL B division matchup, so don't go anywhere. The nightcap is coming up when we return here. Darts Night on Twitch at the FODL. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we were getting ready, and how are we going to follow up those two lovely A matches we just had when we got a FODL B matchup coming up? Pretty easily like this. Because it's going to be a great rivalry matchup between the Criminal, throwing out of Alexandria, Virginia. Last season finished 12th place in the FODL A division, relegated down to FODL B, throwing with those 22-gram Windmouth Foxfire darts. Hashtag Crime Time, the former 3-time champion. Going up against DJ My Q's with those 24-gram Data Dart Jockey Wilson darts. Maybe. He's got like 700 sets, so we'll see what he's actually throwing with. He's coming out of Aurora, Colorado. Last season, he finished 10th place in the FODL A division and was also relegated to B. Hashtag not a real DJ. In the standings, we'll see him right there. The Criminal at the bottom of the table currently. But he's got a match in hand over the Madhouse, who he trails by 7. Repat, he trails by 6, but Repat has yet to play his 6th match. So Criminal looking to dig himself out of a hole. DJ My Q's finds himself in the middle, currently in 6th place, trailing Bud the Chud, Pepe Le, and Barboy, all by 2 points, but he's got 2 matches in hand over Pepe Le, 1 match in hand over Barboy. He and Bud the Chud have played the same number of matches. Looking at the schedule here in game week 5 for FODL B and what we've got so far, Pepe Le, myself, and Madhouse all throwing 7 marks in cricket. Bud the Chud, myself, and the Lush all tying. It's a 3-way tie with literally an even 3.0 MPR. I don't know if there's ever been an MPR tie, period. So the fact that there's potentially a 3-way tie is nuts. Barboy's got a 20-darter in 501. Barboy and Cali Kid both throwing maximums 180s. And the Lush taking out a 109 finish. Looking at the stats for this, the Criminal is 8th in the league in cricket MPR with a 2.46. DJ My Q's is 18th at 2.14. The miss percentages are pretty comparable, 42 for the Criminal, 43 for DJ. Although the treble and bull and 5 mark is where the Criminal is setting himself apart. 18% treble and bulls to 11% for DJ, 11% 5 marks to 5.3 for DJ. And then he's also got the lead in 7 and 9 mark percentages. However, as he will be the first to let you know, he's been up against the Criminal, just winning 40% of his legs, despite being 8th in the league in cricket. That's 8th in everybody. So not just FODL B, 8th of everybody. His opponent 3-dart average is 2.30. DJ winning 67% of his cricket legs, with opponents averaging a 1.94. In 501, Criminal with the slim advantage there, 22nd in the league to DJ's 25th best, 47.99. Criminal's 48.77. First nines, 53.6 to 52.9 respectively. Average finishes roughly the same. Ton plus percentages, 1 point percentage in favor of the Criminal, 7.4 to 6.5. The legs won the Criminal 33%, 56% for DJ. Despite having similar opponent 3-dart averages against, 49.8 and 48.1. So it's been an up and down season kind of for both players. DJ making the most of the opportunities that he has been given. Up top, we'll get rid of that one here shortly, but Doughboy able to take it over Slappy Pappy 4-3 in that FODL C division matchup. And you see here, it's going to be the Criminal on the left. DJ Mike Hughes on the right, and in FODL B, we're playing 8 legs, 2 of cricket, and 6 501. And if our players are ready to go, I know the 35 viewers out in Twitchland are ready to go. DJ, are you ready?
Ready.
Criminal, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Both players are ready. The Criminal is home, and he will have darts in hand to get it started. Game on!
Shoot well, DJ.
Be great, Crim.
Both players showing some good sportsmanship. Not sure how authentic it was. But it's a good 5 mark to start off for the Criminal. Dead center of that treble 20, moving over to the 19s where he finds a pair. He doesn't find an O pair. He finds a pair. So not somebody who would look after your newly born child.
119.
TJ going to start things off with 119 at the bottom half of the board. This second Tequila Sunrise that I've made is much more balanced, so that's always nice. Tastes delicious. Single 19 as the Criminal's got 2 wedges closed. And he goes right on over to 18s, but he missed low. So just the single mark for the Criminal. DJ now moving up to 18s.
2.
Looks like he'll get 2 of them in there. That first dart was begging at that treble 18, but not finding home. Criminal's going to match with 2 18s himself. So currently no points on the board. DJ going to change that, though, with his first dart. And that looks like 6 18s as a Shanghai 18 coming in for DJ Mike Hughes. So he's going to get the close and get 90 points on the board. Criminal going to move back over to 20s to get some points himself. And he'll find a 5 mark in response. So 100 points coming the Criminal's way. And he looks locked in. Potentially up for the task in this one. Again, we know he's not necessarily been feeling great about his darts game, but maybe up for this match with this former rivalry. DJ Mike Hughes, you know, is locked in for this one, whether or not he says he is or not, whether he says he cares or not. You know that he wants to give it to the Criminal a little bit. The Criminal's going to close the 18s first, move back over to 20s, only finds a single. So DJ's got a 6-point lead here. And that's a good shotgunning of darts there, but it's good for 3 total marks, a single 19, single 17, and a single 15. So he's getting closer to closing off the 19s. Criminal going to utilize the double 20 for some scoring. Going to move down to 17s, finds a single, got a next door neighbor treble 2 in there, but it's 3 marks for the Criminal as he plods right along. In the chat, Dr. G Cox 09, come on DJ with a heart. Train FODL says torn on this one. Dr. Ucox 1908 also saying a house divided. Really, there's a single 17 for DJ. Chatter 09 saying a tie between 3 people on the bonus point. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. That's what I'm saying. Dave Little Toaster says that 109 is a dagger. I cried. Thai Curry Pizza says, come on, fellas, let's see a show. Go, 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 go. Barboy predicting a 6-2 criminal victory this evening. So Barboy with the bold prediction. Slappy Pappy T80 joining the chat. Hello. With his cordial greeting to both sexes. Piersode 1 also in there as well. 2 17s get closed for DJ and another single 15. Criminal's going to get the 17s closed, and then goes back up for the 20s for some points. Finds 2 of them, so we'll add 40 points to the lead with 3 steady marks. DJ's going to go over to the 16s here. And he's going to find 2 of them. That third dart deflecting, but staying within the 16 wedge. So 2 single 16s for DJ, but the Criminal finding a treble 16 with the first, and a treble 15. It's a 6-mark round for the Criminal. Treble 16, treble 15, getting them both closed. Not sure where he wanted to go with his third dart, if he was trying to go for maybe some another treble to potentially get the 9 mark for a bonus point, or if he was going right after the bull for potentially tying it with a 7 mark or the bullseye for an 8. But nonetheless, it's a 6 mark. So now the Criminal looking to finish this leg off after DJ missing his first attempt at the bull. He finds a stray 20, so adding some more points, gets a single bull in there as well. So he's flirting with that 3.0 MPR, looking to join the 3.0 party. And DJ, another miss, got a 17, but 17's already closed. Criminal needs 2. He's going to get a single 20, add to the point lead. So, again, we know the Criminals got a little bit of the Adrian Lewis going on where his darts stick up. That first dart in the bull was below
DJ,
it.
what did you hit last turn?
It was a miss.
Miss.
Just something. The refresh there. Looks correct on our side. There's a single 20 for DJ.
I'm waiting for a 20-second timer to count down.
Ah. Well. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10.
DJ is
9,
a very patient
8,
man, but
10.
will he come to his wits end with Dark Connect?
Dark Connect! Dark Connect. It's the scoring application that we use here in the FODL. It's $2 a month, $24 for the entire year. DC Greg, DC David. Generally pretty good with the customer service, so maybe we'll have some bug reports to send to them and try to get some of this fixed, because the 20-second timer is very awkward. Not sure what's going on.
You did miss, right?
Yep. Well,
It never came over to me when I hit control. It's like giving me a 20-second timer.
well, weird. Well, we got the single 20 in for the Criminal. Goes back over to DJ. He puts in his single 20. We're back on track, ladies and gentlemen. After the 20-second timer, it's like waiting for Leonard Gates to throw. But the Criminal's going to find the cricket finish in 2 darts. Game shot. And the leg going to the Criminal. So he gets up on top 1-0, continuing his strong cricket showing here in the early goings of the season. Actually, we're in the midpoint of the season at this point. DJ is going to have darts in hand as we go to the second leg of this match. Game on.
That's like you were going to lose this match, dude.
We'll go ahead and drop the other scoreboard since we've seen the results already. And DJ looks like he's going to get started off with a 6 mark here in this second leg with 3 20s and 3 19s. Finding a pair of big trebles. It's going to force Criminal to go after the 18s right off the bat, where he gets 2 of them. DJ Mike Hughes finding the double 18 there to get it closed. Finds a stray 15 as well, so backing up the 6 mark with a 4 mark.
4.
Criminal's going to find 4 17s, though, get the first points on the board, but it's DJ who's got 3 wedges closed already. Got his pick of the litter, which to choose from. And another treble 20, so DJ coming out firing here in this second leg, but missing on the 17 wedge on the drop down, but 60 points scored for DJ. But Crim is right back in that treble bet again. Back-to-back 4-mark 17s. These ones pure points for the Criminal. So he's not going anywhere. Going to make DJ earn it despite the hot start. You see the MPR, which will stay right above 4 as he finds 420s. Blazing it is DJ Mike Hughes. That third dart into the corner of the treble 20. Criminal with the 3.3 here. This time just finding 2 17s, so missing the treble 17 for his first time. And trailing in points, DJ dropping back down to 17s, trying to get it closed. Both first and second darts into the 2. Baiting his third, goes back up for points, gets a single 20, but no work done to closing off the 17s. Criminal so far has been showing well on the 17s. And he'll get 5 more of them. The treble 17 is open for business right now on the left side as the Criminal jumps back out in front, 204 to 160. DJ working back up top. He'll get a pair of 20s, make it 204 to 200. Criminal trailing by 3 wedges. He's going back to 17s, trying to bolster that point lead potentially for a future opportunity. He gets 2 17s and gets the 18s closed. Already had 2 marks in the 18, so he will get one of DJ's wedges closed off, although DJ still has the 20s where he can go back to the bank. That looks like 4 of them. It was just 2. Wow, that second dart nearly into the treble, but sitting right on top. But the 220s enough to get him just back above the Criminal in points. 2 17s in response from the Criminal, and both players playing above the 3.0 threshold, playing like the former FODL A competitors that they are. Single 20 for DJ, staying a little bit below the Criminal now. Crim's going after 20s. He's going to find tops with the first, but he can't find the second or third dart into the single to get it close. So just 2 20s for the Criminal. A big opportunity there. You hear him sigh as he knew that it went by his wayside. But DJ is going to give him another chance. It's a miss for DJ Mike Hughes on the right side, and Criminal will get the 20s closed this time again with tops, finding double 20 for the second time in a row. So the 20s are closed. Third dart directed at the 17 gets a single to get some more points. So now DJ looking for some 19s on which to score.
2.
Conrad Darts saying short fat darts and super long points reminds me of Klassen, except without the dodgy history. Well, maybe. Pitts 2 saying the dodgy history is there too. And that looks like 4 17s for the Criminal yet again. So continuing to punish that treble 17.
1.
A single 19 for DJ. So DJ got out to that great start, but the Criminal has been able to battle back here on 17s. Hasn't given up. And looks like he's going to utilize the double ring again. A double 19 and a single 19 to get the 19s closed. And now all of a sudden, the Criminal has flipped this leg on its head as he has the point lead and forcing DJ Mike Hughes to move to 16s. But DJ
7.
may have found 7, and he does find 7 16s. Another 2 treble visit for DJ Mike Hughes in this leg. Puts him back on top in points. Another absolute cricket battle going on here before us. We saw it in the last match between, actually we've seen it in all 3 matches really. The Jig and Surgeon had some great cricket battles. Left Hand and Nooch had some good cricket battles. Criminal and DJ living up to the cricket battle night that is this darts night on Twitch here on Tuesday. DJ managing just a single 16 there. Criminal, he's got 2 in the treble 17. He stayed, was looking for the 9 mark, but he's going to get 6 17s to put some punishment on DJ Mike Hughes, put the pressure on DJ Mike Hughes to find that treble 16 bed once again. DJ's not able to live up to it. It's another miss for DJ. That's been his disaster. Criminal has been throwing well, at least getting a minimum of 1 or 2. And as I say that, the Criminal is going to miss his first visit, but the Criminal's been a little bit more steady, been finding some big visits when he needs to in the terms of 4s and 3 marks. DJ's found the 6 and 7s, but he's also had a couple of misses that have really let the Criminal hang around and bully his way back in this one. There's 2 16s for DJ, but the Criminal's going to find a trouble with his second dart. Move over to 15s where he gets 1. It's another 4-mark visit for the Criminal. And DJ on the move again. Already had that slop 15 from earlier. Can he take advantage of it and get some points on the board here? He'll get 2 15s to at least get the wedge closed. The Criminal lurking with that single 15 from his last visit, needing 2 to get the wedge closed. And he's only going to need 1 dart, finding the treble 15 with his first. Now moving to the center. Comes up empty, going after the bull, but a beautiful treble 15 to get it closed. And now DJ forced to the bull if he's looking to get any points. That third dart may have clipped in there. Oh, it stayed out. You see it there. So nothing for DJ Mike Hughes, his first attempt at the center. Criminal needs 3 to sweep cricket. He'll drop down for a single 17 after missing his first 2 darts at the center and add 17 more points to his total. DJ back to the middle. He's got 1 in there with his second dart, and it will be just the single mark, a green bit 25, counting for 1. Criminal still needs 3. So Criminal starting to slack. The center of the board eluding him here at this juncture, but still with a comfortable point lead. DJ not yet with the bulls closed, and it's the only place he has left to score. And it's going to be a miss from DJ Mike Hughes on the right. DJ looking to battle back, looking to dig his heels in. Gotten off to a great start. Looked like he was going to battle back with that 7 mark on the 16s. But the Criminal answered right back with the 6 mark in the 17s. But now it's slogging down a little bit on the bullseye. Back-to-back misses. DJ Mike Hughes and the Criminal trading misses.
Hey, okay.
There's a single for the Criminal. I think that was a dilly-dilly chuckle in the background.
Damn, sensitive mics.
So some live audience on the Criminal side. If you didn't know it, Dilly-Dilly and the Criminal live together. Kinky. That might be a single 17. No, it's into the 2 for DJ. So Criminal again. He's
Oh my goodness.
looking for the center, but he's staying outside. Those darts clipping the wires all around it, but can't find the center. Conrad Dart says he unironically likes cricket. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like, when people say they hate it, I'm like, why? It's a game. There's a nice bullseye from DJ Mike Hughes. That one's dead center, but that gets the wedge closed. And now DJ going to open up some scoring possibilities, which might put some pressure on the Criminal here. There's a single with his final dart, so he inches within 1. DJ's got a dart in there. Looking to do what the Jig did earlier, where he bullied a bunch of bulls. That might be a hat trick. That could be 3. It is 3 pulls for DJ Mike Hughes. Just like that, he's within 6 points of the Criminal. Criminal now looking for 1 to finish off the leg. Still has the 17s open to score, but he's looking for 1 bull to finish it. First 2 darts have missed. He might be debating what he wants to do here with his final dart. He stayed at the center, but that comes up empty. So now a big opportunity flipping to the right side of the board for DJ Mike Hughes. Can he get back on top? Can he find another bull? Dig deep. Oh, that third dart. You saw the other dart deflect and clip. It flattened it out. It kept it out of the bull. It's a miss for DJ. Criminal's got 3 in hand, looking for the finish, and he'll do it. first dart, game shot, and the leg going to the criminal as he half flexes on the camera leading into it after seeing his MPR plummet like
Scared
by a
face.
full point. Oh, it was a scared face. It's hard to tell. I mean, you got the light behind you. It got shadowed out. I don't know. But the criminal was able to sweep Cricket, and we're moving to 501. Criminal's going to have darts in hand here. Game on! The chat here was just waiting for the collapse. They're like, uh-oh, oh no. Good stuff. Criminal going to get off to a good start here in 501 with a nice little 98 action. Oh, scooter dart from DJ Mike Hughes with the last to score 40. And Criminal's going to do it here in the early goings with a breakfast. Single 5, single 20, single 1. And as we do here in the FODL. We ask an official breakfast question for the first breakfast of every single match. Not every single cast, but every single match. Which means this will be the third breakfast question of the evening. And tonight's breakfast, or the final breakfast question, is going to be inspired by the fact of what I'm currently drinking. So, 36 viewers out there. There's a lot of answers. There's going to be a lot of basic answers that I think are going to come into this, but I don't really care. Your go-to breakfast, alcoholic breakfast beverage that contains orange juice. 36 viewers out there, alcoholic beverage with orange juice, let me know. That question is inspired by my current beverage because I'm drinking another tequila sunrise, which is tequila, orange juice, and grenadine. We get back to the darting action. Criminal, after some slack turns, bouncing back with a ton to respond to the 81 that DJ Mike Hughes had dropped in the turn before. There's a 17, though, from DJ. So unable to keep the pace up. That looks like 92 from the Criminal, finding the treble 18 with his final dart. So he'll get on to a finish down to 124 after 18. DJ going to need a treble with his third dart to join him at 164. But that's going to miss wide. 58 scored for DJ. Criminal requires 124. It's on. Oh, went for the treble 14/big 14. Missed into the 9. And he's going to go after the 15s with the last for 84 scored. So leave him 40. And looks like a 92 there. Oh, it's just 52 for DJ. It gets down to 154. Criminal requires tops. And, oh, didn't even see that third dart come in. So missing all outside. DJ requires 154. It's going to be off. Was going the 19's route. I like that route personally myself. Treble 19, double top. But unable to find either treble 19, and it's going to be 43 for DJ. Criminal requires 40 inside. Over to the Rascal, and he misses into the adjacent double 15 for a bust with his second, giving DJ an opportunity from 111. Looks like a treble 5. Oh, going around the world here. 19 scored for DJ down to 92. Back to Criminal. He's back to 40. For double top. That's inside Rascal. The Rascal says no, yes, yet again. This time it's not a bust, though, so 20 remaining. DJ requires 92. DJ getting a little bit loose here. 22 scored as he's down to 70. Criminal requires 20. The 6 now to double 7. He's going to split it and go 10 double 2. And he's going to find the double 2, so splits it with 2 in hand and is able to pick off double 2. Game shot and the leg going to the Criminal. 3 on the bounce, on the skip, on the trot, on the go, on the run, on the fly. DJ Mike Hughes looking to turn the tide here with darts in hand. Game on. Looks like Criminal may have accidentally hit the cricket button instead of the 501 button, at least on my scoreboard. There we go. Now we're fixed up. We're going into the chat. Let's see if we can't find some breakfast question answers. Oh, we got a lot. We got a lot here. Here's 30. Got to find this. Got to find where we started here. DeGrub saying Diet Dew and bourbon. Diet Dew does have some orange juice in it, so that's fair. Thai Curry Pizza just says orange juice and alcohol, so very descriptive there. Pitts 2 going with a mimosa-ish. Glass of Prosecco, 1 tiny drop of OJ. That's too much. Too much OJ. Slappy Pappy T80 says definitely a basic orange juice and gasoline. I don't know if gasoline's safe to drink. That's scary. Barboy 1987 is going to go with the Tequila Sunrise. Empire 3, like that answer, an Orange Crush. Dr. G Cox 1908, Tequila Sunrise is a strong throwback. Dave Little Toaster says got to go with a mimosa. K-Ball02, is this about the grenadine? Does it have any pomegranate in it, or is it just the colored sugar water, also mimosa? It's the bottled Roses grenadine, so it's just the colored sugar water. So understandable, but yeah, it's not real grenadine like made from pomegranates. Dr. G-Cox 1908 goes screwdrivers all morning. Barboy 1987, orange juice and Everclear. Oh, woof. Blademouth 5 goes with a Bloody Mary. That doesn't have orange juice in it, and I feel like if you put orange juice in a Bloody Mary, that would go poorly. I don't know if that works, but I don't know. You do your thing. If you want to put orange juice in a Bloody Mary, that's gross. Blademouth 5 re-answering now says, didn't hear the question. If it's orange juice, want the minimalist mimosa. Orange crushes are better for lunch. We'll turn back to the darts here. Got some good answers there. Keep them coming. That's a nice deflection there for DJ Mike Hughes, getting a ton in there, finding the treble 20 with his third. Criminal's going to answer treble 20 with his first, though. Getting a little bit slower of a start here for both players. Just 64 managed after that beautiful first start from the Criminal. Both players mid-40s working their way down. DJ going to back up his ton with just 22, a Roadhouse double deuce. Criminal 224 trying to get to a finish first. Now we'll need a treble to do it. 43 is not going to incorporate that treble that he needed down to 181. That looks to be 26 the hard way from DJ. Criminal's going to pour in a steady 60, a steady diet of single 20s. He's left with 121. Seeing some darts get a little loose from DJ, but that's a good recovery with the second. Good recovery with the second and third, really. 92 scored from DJ. Mike Hughes gets down to 94. Criminal first up from 121. Won't be able to check it out. 38 scored for the Criminal, left with 83. DJ requires 94. That might be a treble 13 with the first, which would leave 55, which means DJ's got one of tops after hitting the 15. So some good recovery math from DJ after missing the mark into the treble 13, but found the 15 he wanted. Criminal's got 2 at double 16, finding the treble 17 with the first. Can he find the double 16? He cannot, but a good setup there from the Criminal, leaving 32, but DJ's got 3 at 40. First starts into the 5, now has to play cleanup from 35. That's into the 7, so 1 dart for double 14. Oh, and he went at the wrong double, so gracious that he missed. 12 scored, 28 remaining. Criminal requires 32. It's a good marker. Oh, now it needs to go lushy, double. Can he find the same double 8? You hear Bear moving along the Aki, trying to figure out what angle he wants to attack this from. Oh, no, and that's a disastrous third dart. High and into the 11 to leave 5. DJ requires 28. Now found the right target. That's a decent marker, although that actually might be leaning over the double to kind of block it. And that deflection on the outside isn't going to help. That's going to push it farther over. It looks like the third dart into the single 9, left with 19. Criminal now needs to clean up 5. He wants the 3 double 2, looking for the Madhouse now. Inside on the Madhouse, Criminal doesn't like going after double 2 that much because any misses outside kind of block it off for him. But that was a bust, so he'll have to correct that if he gets another shot, which he will. DJ wanted the 3 for double 16, missed into the 19. He has 19 remaining. Got to finish on the double, which makes that a bust. So there's Criminal. There's the 3 once again, looking for the Madhouse. This time missing both darts outside on the Madhouse, so he just registered that as a miss, and we're back on track for scoring. There is a treble 3, so now DJ looking for double 5. That's inside, won't be able to take it out, and he will elect to bust this here and go back to 19. Criminal looking for 2. Those are some Pepe Le-esque markers. And of course, using the Pepe Le markers, he finds the Madhouse with the third game shot and the leg to the Criminal, as he now is 4 on the spin. And he's got darts in hand coming back to the board. Game on! Elisard says, beverages with alcohol at breakfast. Was that the question? No, Elisard, the actual question is an alcoholic beverage for breakfast that contains orange juice. So your first answer will qualify with mimosa. Bailey's and coffee is a good answer, but doesn't have orange juice unless you're weird and get down with some OJ in your coffee, which is kind of gross. It reminds me of that Ricky Fowler This Is Sports Center commercial where he grabs the decaf without knowing it, and that's the kind of reason that he wears the bright orange all the time. And they're like, Ricky, are you colorblind? There's some eye rolls in there. Slap Pappy says he's never sent Grim eye rolls before. There's a lot of eye rolls coming in this chat. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I'm just working with what we got going on. Criminal's starting out with a 140, which is very nice. We get back to the darts. DJ coming in with a ton there. So now maybe both players waking up a little bit. Well, it's just 28 from the Criminals, so cooling off from that 140 start. .41 from DJ. Both players under 300. Grim looking to get to it now.
Well, I got the one.
And he's going to leave the biggest of them all. So if Liberty Fires is out there, get that wallet ready as the Criminals set up the big fish. DJ, the second dart missing, will not be able to get to a finish, but still looking for some points here with that cleanup. It's 45 score for DJ. Criminal. And it's off. It's off. Slappy Pappy was begging for it. He says, please, Crim, please. And then as soon as it's missed, the old hashtag deadhead asshole comes into the chat from Slappy Pappy. It's after 10 o'clock. We can go FODL after dark kind of status here. There's 40 scored from DJ. It looks like it might be 42. Okay, so that was trouble 1. So DJ going to set up the big fish. Criminal requires 146. We're jumping all kinds over the board. There's 36 scored for the Criminal. We'll leave 110. DJ looking for the big fish. And that's off as well. So 2 attempts at the big fish. This leg got off to very slow starts. Looks like 40. No, this is 60. So both players at 110. Criminals got the first shot at the 110 here. Beautiful first start.
God damn it.
Whoa. This might be some Crim eye roll here.
I went for the to leave 18.
I see. So Criminal wanted to leave the double 18, instead left him a shot at the bull, which he missed low. Left himself 34. DJ requires 110. Interesting. So Criminal opting to leave himself to double 18. I guess if, for that reason, where if he missed him to 3, he still has a shot at the bull. Surprised he wouldn't go 13 though. But 39 for DJ. Criminal requires 34. Going right after the double 17. That's inside though, so he won't be able to finish it because that's the second dart. Now got to figure out which target he wants, and he sneaks it into the corner of the 1 there. So 18 scored, 16 remaining. DJ requires 71. DJ's got a shot at the bullseye. Oh, and he goes into the green bit. A great look from DJ. Almost took out the bullseye finish. Left with 25. Criminal looking for double 8. Second dart's a good marker. But he's going to bust low and into the 16 for the third. DJ now looking for 25. He's going to have cleanup duty. Finds 14. There's the 3, double 4. And that's just outside begging for DJ Mike Hughes. Criminal. Back to double 8. And it's a bust with the first dart, double 11. And there comes some frustration darts for the first time in the evening in the match. Back over to DJ double 8. And DJ is going to find it with the second dart. Game shot and the leg to Wicka DJ. Mike Hughes getting on the board, taking advantage of that one as he comes in, making it 4-1, stopping the run of Criminal, getting a break of throw in the process. DJ coming back to the board with darts in hand. Game on! Dr. G. Cox 1908 after the DJ Mike Hughes checkout, throwing in 100 biddies. Thank you, Dr. G. Cox 1908. Pitts 2 saying this absolutely ends 4-4. Pitts 2 says live bet the draw. Blade Mount 5 saying 5-3 crim. He's calling it. Barboy saying, we're looking at a new level of crim rage if this goes 4-4. DJ showing off that lovely 7. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. They're all very close, but it amounts to 7 for DJ. Criminal, he's going to get 3 steady single 20s for 60 scored. And DJ is going to respond with 60 of his own. Blade said he was going to, he called that earlier when it was 2-0. But I think 2-0 and going 4-4 is significantly different than 4-0 and going 4-4. I can speak to that from experience as well. Having gone 4-0 and then having it tied 4-4 against Pepe Le in week 1. That could be a ton 19. So DJ finding a pair of treble 19s after the cover. Criminal dropping in 47. So it's not just 4s. There's the score correction. But DJ, a 2 treble visit on the 19s has got him out in front now. But his second single-digit score of the leg will keep this thing within reach for the Criminal, as he scores 42. So again, players coming pretty evenly down the board. 265 for DJ right now, 270 for the Criminal. DJ's working on the 19s for 265. I like that math. I know the Criminal likes that math too. DJ used to rebuke the Criminal's math, but now embracing it. 265, you hit a treble 19, 2 single 19s, that's 95, would leave you 270. Criminal's going to get 45 there, get down to 225. So again, players staying tight in this one. And DJ, another slack visit, just 17 there, so he'll stay above 200. Criminal's going to ping the treble 18 with his final dart on the switch for 94. And all of a sudden, the Criminal out in front. He's the first one to a checkout. DJ's going to answer with 42 of his own there. A good switch for him. Get down to 160. Leave himself an out. Crim requires 131. It is off. First dart into the 2. So now looking to clean up. 41 scored for Criminal down to 90. DJ looking for 160. That is off. First dart is just below, but it's still in the 20s. So looking for a good score. 58 down to 102. Criminal requires 90. Could not keep that second dart straight. So he'll be scoring 42 and left with 48. DJ requires 102. Oh, just missing that treble 18, and it's into the 11 as well. So from 63 goes after the 17s, which will leave him 46. Criminal requires 48. Double 16. Cannot find the double 16.
I'm plugging in my numbers.
DJ requires 46.
No, I'm plugging in the wrong numbers. Sorry.
Oh. Sorry, so DJ.
I got confused because whatever you said was not what I thought I had, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what I said. I might have said that you left 48, but it was actually scoring 48. I might have had it backwards.
All of a sudden, I forgot. I don't know how to do math. I don't fucking know what I had. 48.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. I think I just had it flipped. Which would leave 54. One for tops. Missing outside is DJ Mike Hughes. Couldn't find the 14. Hit the 3 to clean it up, but couldn't find double 20. Criminal back to double 16 for 3. Some good efforts at it. A good grouping, but they're all outside. No score. And DJ will ping tops with the first dart. Game shot and the leg to DJ Mike Hughes as he gets 2 in a row, cutting the lead in half now, 4-2 in favor of the Criminal. Criminal's going to have darts in hand coming back to the board. Game on! Liberty fires. Everybody falling for the bait of Liberty fires there. There's a 66 for the Criminal to get things started off. He did find a trouble. DJ choking over there in Colorado. Can't imagine why. Can't imagine what could have happened to make that happen. Dr. G. Cox, 1908, once again, throwing out 100 biddies for the DJ Mike Hughes leg victories. Thank you, Dr. G. Cox, 09. Blade Mouth 5, rooting on the Crim. Says, get back on that horse, Crim. Come on. There's 83 for the Criminal. So he's able to get back into the trouble bed. Found a trouble 1 as well. .45 scored for DJ. So Criminal, by way of a couple of trebles, he's gotten out in front here. 47 there. It's him down to 305. DJ employing some Pepe Lay strategy right now. He's switching down to 19s. There's 57 though, so we'll keep them all straight. Crim looking to get to work. There is 43 scored down to 262 now. Dr. G. Cox 1908 says he's a big DJ fan. That I think we have established at this point, so we know.
Wow. How do I throw 2 darts like that?
And there's a 55, a speed limit from the Criminal. So he gets down to 207. Starting to talk to himself a little bit, despite being out in front by about 100 points. And just 13 scored for DJ will not do much in the way of catching up. And it's a breakfast from the criminal, so 43 viewers now. We're up in viewers. People want to see this matchup for sure. If you have not answered the breakfast question, your go-to alcoholic beverage for breakfast that contains orange juice, let me know. There's 43 scored from the criminal, so he will get down to a finish of 138. Dr. G. Cox 1908 says he's actually a bigger fan of the Jigs cat, but don't tell DJ. Whoops. I guess I let that one slip, Dr. G. Cox 1908. Sorry me. DJ's going to score 81 here, though. Get into the trouble bed for the first time this leg. The criminal requires 138. It's off. 45 scored, gets down to 93. DJ trying to keep some pressure on the criminal here from 188. Looks like a treble 12, a treble 5, and a 7, which would be 58. Crim requires 93. He's going to score 53 to leave himself tops DJ on the babyfish 130. It is off. First start into the 1. But he finds the treble with the third. 80 scored for DJ, leaves 50. Criminal requires 40. Inside on the first attempt over to the Rascal. Taking a second to regroup.
Thank God.
And he will find the Rascal. Rascal says yes with dart number 3. Game shot. And the leg going to the criminal as he will wrap up a match victory, going up 5-2. However, we got one leg to play. DJ Mike Hughes will have darts in hand. Game on! Liberty Fire is answering the breakfast question saying crepe. Train FODL saying Saskatchewan sunrise. Train FODL, what is in a Saskatchewan sunrise? Please let me know. I've never heard of it, but I want to know.
It's just a can of Molson.
And bear piss.
A bunch of Rascal faces coming into the chat after the Rascal finish. Liberty Fire is enjoying the cheeky comment of it just being a can of Molson as well. Thought that was funny. Pitts 2 saying, that was honestly the best dart Crim has ever thrown.
After the first two, honestly.
Well, I think that's what made it the best dart you've ever thrown after the recovery from those first 2 shit-ass darts. Yeah, DJ, you weren't that far off. Train Photo saying it's a Pilsner beer and OJ. So, yeah, pretty much a Molson and OJ. Sounds right. Oz is live joining the chat. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, Oz is live. What's going on? Thanks for joining in. Coming in for the final leg of tonight's broadcast between these two FODL B players. DJ found a double 19 in there, in the mix there for 44. Grim's going to get 43 there, so we're this final leg off to a whisper here as opposed to a bang. Both players in the low 40s as far as the first 9. Actually, DJ in the upper 30s, 41. Won't quite get him to the 40 range. Oh, and Crim, out of nowhere, giving the 180 sweat a run. Ton 25 on the left side of the board for the criminal. Maybe that will get the juices flowing. DJ's going to find a treble of his own. It's a treble 12, but it's still 76 points for him. So maybe we can get some life going. Criminal back into the treble bed.
What's the bonus this week?
180. Criminal asking for the bonus point and comes back with back-to-back ton 80 sweats, goes ton 25, ton 40, and all of a sudden he is on a 65. DJ, he's trying to get to a finish now. Found a treble 7 with his second, scored 22 to this point. He's going to need some sort of treble with his third. Looks like he found another single 7 for 29 potentially. That's all it is. Criminal requires 65. Can't find the big 18, but he does find the single 17, almost finding the treble. But he does leave himself tops. He will come back to the board. DJ back at 208. He will score 41. That will leave him on a finish at 167, but Criminal 3 darts for tops. Inside to the Rascal once again.
Yeah, I already missed one way high.
Missed that, so 20 scored. DJ requires 167. It is off. 60 scored, down to 107 now for DJ. Criminal requires 20. Into the 6 now. Got to change target. You will split it once again. This worked earlier for him. And it works again in the last leg. The Criminal hitting the 6, splitting it, finding 10, and finding double 2 once again. Game shot and the leg and the match going to the Criminal as he is going to take home a 6-2 victory. So we'll go over to DJ, who's looking very flowy right now. Flovid in full effect out in Colorado, as that hair has not even seen scissors in a long time at this point. DJ coming into this one, Cricket was a pretty good battle between you two guys for the most part, especially in that second leg. Weren't able to get any of them as he was able to battle back and take it, but we figured that you would be up for this one with you guys kind of being FODL rivals, so to speak. Talk to us about how you felt coming into this one and what the game plan was and how you felt you lived up to the expectation.
So I haven't had a haircut since January. No scissors have touched it. Mostly a lot of conditioner and castor oil mixture together. Yeah, on and off wash days. Sorry, I just wanted to ignore your other questions.
I mean, that's fine. Like, I'm doing outside of the castor oil, like I'm pretty much trying to only wash like every 3 days right now, while I haven't gotten a haircut since March. So my hair looks, although yours looks much better than mine. So I'm gonna throw that out there, but.
It's a healthy mane. I'd say. I mean, what the fuck else do I have to do besides take care of my hair, get tattoos, and that's about it. So, no, I'm pretty upset at my own darts tonight. None of that was a battle. I put zero pressure on him whatsoever. So now I'd like to go ahead and commemorate this by saying the Criminal can shut the fuck up with everybody throws their best darts against him, because that
Me and you are an exception.
The worst darts that I have thrown all season. That's probably the worst than darts I threw last season when I truly did not give a shit and wasn't practicing. Which is probably the most frustrating part about it, is that when I've been on and up, it's just still a roller coaster, but I've been getting some good wins and some bigger wins too. I certainly didn't set any expectations for this. Throwing throughout the day, it just felt terrible, and none of that stopped tonight. I mean, I just couldn't keep anything straight, which was really the biggest part. And it just sort of unraveled from that point. But I really could not find that slot where I could just keep it straight. It wasn't about like getting close to trebles. It was just like, can I throw 3 straight darts into the same wedge? And that happened so rarely. So it was just very, very frustrating. I mean, that was terrible. That was sucked.
Yeah, and I think at every point, the majority of us can all, commiserate with that. I know I can, for the first half of this season, I know personally I've felt like I can't throw a 60 I can either throw an 80 or I'll throw a 40 or a 20, and it's just it just sucks. Like I certainly get that frustration. So obviously, it wasn't your best performance, but it's still an entertaining match between the two of you. Like again, wasn't the greatest darts from either of you, but it still made for entertainment because you guys have that FODL history. So like, if nothing else, talk to us about how much that like built into what you were feeling coming into this one with the background that you have with the Criminal.
It didn't, because I went back and like looked at the match log recently, and like Criminals beat me once in league play since that championship meltdown. So like, you know what I mean? Like I had an expectation to win tonight, but like, you know what I mean? He threw better subpar darts than I threw, so I give him credit for that. I mean, man, he got six legs when that, like, that's what's the most important in this league, is getting those leg wins so you get those points. But like, I couldn't put any pressure on. So there was just, I don't know. I wasn't. It all got into my head at some points of like, trying to throw the dart straight, and it was just focused. It wasn't like anger. It was just like, okay, like, reset, take a drink of water, like, just get back in that same zone and throw the dart the way that you normally can, which is that fluid motion, and it just was not happening. So I don't know. I'm pretty flabbergasted.
Well, I want to read this comment from the chat from Slappy Pappy T80. It says, DJ is very Kevin Costner's wife in Field of Dreams right now.
I'll take it. It fuck me. I definitely fuck me.
Well, DJ, again, not your greatest match. Looking to get it back on track in Game Week 6. You're going to have the Lush on tap. So what do you need to do to get ready and turn it around for that one?
I don't know. Try to just throw them straight. That's it. That's literally all I wanted. I just really want to throw them straight. That's it.
Well, DJ, obviously not the result you were looking for this evening, but we appreciate your time and being on cast as always. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll talk to you a little bit later, my man.
Thanks, Radar. Thanks for the cast. Good shooting, Grim.
Appreciate the trivia earlier also. That was a lot of fun.
Wish I could say it was good shooting, but I'm not sure.
Good for you getting 12 points.
Shooting.
We'll go over to the Criminal. Criminal, you got to win. That's the question. You got to win. How does it feel?
I mean, obviously, it's been. When did I play Pepe last season? I think it was like the first game week. So it's nice to definitely get a victory after dropping, 14 matches in a row. So, yeah, I mean, getting the leg win was great. Obviously, the darts were up and down for sure. I mean, the last two times me and DJ have played, the last season when we played was probably also his worst match last season, where the two of us combined went like 7 for 100 or whatever on doubles. And so I was glad I was able to keep up that tradition, going 4 of 44 or whatever the heck it was tonight. So that was pretty ugly. But I mean, at this point, I could care less about if it's ugly or pretty. I just need to get some leg wins. So yeah, that was definitely huge for me.
So able to pull off 6 in cricket. You actually played pretty well. Like the second leg, the MPRs dropped where you struggled at the center, but essentially getting to the bull, you were above 3.0 in both legs. So cricket's kind of been your forte. Talk to us about, how it felt tonight to not necessarily have somebody throwing 3.5s pluses against you in each leg.
I mean, DJ was super competitive in both those legs too. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I coasted to victory, especially in the second leg. I was trying real hard to let him come back and give it away, and was definitely, having to take some deep breaths and try to compose myself. But I mean, I think the fact that I'm playing well in cricket and not so great in 501 is, it's an indication of where my darts are at right now. I'm obviously changing things. I think finally I have figured out how to correctly throw a dart for the first time ever since I started playing. Because when I first started, I didn't hold it or release it correctly at all. And in the last week, I figured out how to actually propel it, and it flies smooth through the air and stuff. So that's pretty sweet. But, going along with that is you kind of don't have the consistency. So I think what's happening is I'm throwing it pretty good around the target that I'm trying to hit, but I don't have like necessarily the precision, which is why the doubles are bad and not hitting as many trebles as I would like to. But in cricket, I mean, if you can hit, if your bad turns are hitting 2 solid numbers, and then you can mix in some, 5 marks or 6 marks or whatever, when you do throw a couple of good darts, then you're going to end up with a good MPR. So I think that's why my cricket game is such a disconnect from my 501 right now, because, in 501, throwing 45 all the way down isn't as good as, floating around with the 2 mark every time in cricket. It's not going to hurt you nearly as bad. So, yeah, but I mean, definitely been playing well in cricket. I played well in cricket last season too. It's nice the last 2 weeks. I started out 2-0 both weeks. So getting off to a good start when you're just trying to get some leg wins, trying to get a win in general is definitely a big plus for sure.
One of the biggest changes that I noticed, I don't know if the people out there noticed, I'm sure they did, was the fact that there were 0 board punches this evening, and the attitude just kind of seemed a little bit better. So, what's been the change, and what have you needed to do to keep yourself locked in and keep the negative thoughts from getting to you, at least in this match?
Obviously, that's been an issue, but really I have to all of the credit for that goes to Unholy Cannoli, because I saw him throw, and literally this is dead serious, and I'm sorry that I have to say it out loud, but I saw him throw, and I was like, holy shit, he's throwing the same average I am. And it just made me feel 100% better about my throw. And to stop worrying about every little micro detail to try to have a perfect form, you know what I mean? And just to throw a little bit, because it's like, wow, at least it doesn't look like that. So I'm sorry, but it's literally true. I swear to God, that was the difference. I was like, wow, you know what? Honestly, my throw is not as bad as it probably feels. And then, taking that into this week, again, I really was starting to build a little bit of actual confidence throwing the dart, because when I do throw it,
#JustHaveConfidence.
And when I do throw it well and I get a clean release, it is going where I want to. And I think that showed in the fact that, this week I was able to hit some of the 140s and 120s and tons, and some of the combo shots in cricket, though I'm definitely disappointed to choke on the 7 mark the 4 times I had a chance or whatever at it. So I think it's starting to show a little promise there. Obviously, the doubling needs to be cleaned up in a massive way, because I frankly feel like I gave away the 2 legs that DJ got, just missing double after double. So, but it's all work in progress. The big thing is I needed maybe a win to, maybe that'll get me going the right way, maybe feeling a little better. I hate that it had to come at the expense of DJ not throwing well. I would have much rather, won a contest where we're both averaging mid-50s, and I felt like I earned it a little bit more. But at this point, beggars ain't going to be choosers for me. I'm going to take the points any way I get them.
Well, I hope somebody out there on Twitch will clip that quote. For the love of God, somebody please do it. Looking forward into next week, Criminal. You will have to continue the upward trend, because you got Deadhead Darter on the schedule, although he might be on the take after some of the math exploits last week, so maybe some payments will happen. But what do you need to get going for that match?
Yeah, this is going to be a big week for my season, because I have Callie in my floating match and Deadhead obviously on the docket in my week match. And I feel like I need to come out of the 2 matches with a minimum of 8 leg wins to kind of stay where I would want to be moving to try to position myself for a late season run. And they're both throwing super well. Callie obviously is scoring just like a maniac, and I think he's like number 2 or 3 in the league in double percentage. He's also finishing just a stupid percentage. Deadhead started out super hot his last couple weeks. Obviously, I don't think we're up to the task for his performance, but I mean, I've played Deadhead before. We know how we like to play against each other. He's going to show up, so the performance that I put on tonight's not going to super cut it, but I do feel positive about the way my action is moving right now. So hopefully I can kind of shore that up a little bit more, and it's not me thinking about it and a little bit more instinctual. And, I know deep down if I throw my darts, I'm going to beat both of them, but I just have to actually do that. That's the key.
Well, we will see if it happens. Coming out with a 6-2 victory, and as Empire 3 pointed out, a Lasercat length interview this evening. So congratulations on the victory this evening, and good luck the rest of the way, Crib.
Well, when you bring in viewership like me, just everybody loves me. I'm such a massive draw for the league.
Oh my God! Stop fucking talking.
I was giving you a chance to cut me off and pay me back for what I did the other week. You should have taken it.
I just
Good
did.
match, DJ, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.